feature. In traffic, Thornton is so good. But that 401 career wins now in all kinds of divisions of racing. And like I said last night, about 300 of those seems like they've come in the last 3 or 4 years. But he's doing a great job. But I tell you, this race, $50,000 to win, the first crown jewel race of the season for dirt late model racing. But Thornton, he started 6th on Thursday, started 4th last night. What will he do from the pole? I don't think he'll sneak up the show.
DJ, you had a great stat. When's the last time somebody led all 100 laps here?
The last time somebody led all 100 laps in this race, 2015. And as a matter of fact, 2015 is the only year, that's the year Jonathan Davenport won, that's the only year since the Show Me 100 moved to Lucas Oil Speedway that one driver has led all 100 laps. 15 years now this event has been here. Only once has somebody led all 100 laps. Ben, let's go ahead and take a look at your General Tire race info.
Well, as we get set for tonight, I got a light stand.
I can do
right
it. I
in
got
front
you.
of
I
me.
got you, brother. We got hot line. We're going to have a couple things. We've got a lot of things going on tonight. We're going to have 3 B mains for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. There'll be 15 laps each. We're going to have hot laps for the drivers that are already locked in the show. And then back again, the Midwest Sheet Metal Show Me Challenge. 20 laps. Basically, winner take all. The winner will get either $2,500 and they can go home, or they will get an opportunity to tag the tail end of the Show Me 100.
James, how many times have you seen guys come out of that Show Me Challenge and rally from the back and have a chance to win?
Chris Simpson did it a few years ago, and we've had
Bobby Pierce from the tail to the lead.
Did it, right, and hey, they've got the option of that or taking the money or go to the Lake of the Ozarks, whatever they want to do. But most likely they'll take the money, right? It's $2,000 to start, but you got to run past that. But they want to race and 100 laps here at Wheatland. And the way the track has been the last couple of nights, I would race, absolutely.
You're not wrong there. Guys, this racetrack, we've talked about it each of the last 2 nights. 3/8 mile clay oval opened in 2001. And I think the big thing that maybe trumps what you see there on the screen, guys, is the fact that they took about 8 inches of dirt off this racetrack in the off season, and really honestly just outside of Lake Lucas, they actually dug down about a foot into the soil, and that's where they got the clay from that's on the racetrack now, and it's been really, really good, Ben.
And you know what I love they did about that? We talk about it a lot of times. You see mini Lucas Oil Speedway back there, the go-karts, the kids having a good time. I like that they took the top 8 inches off. They said, you know what, this surface isn't what we want. We don't want to bring in some new clay and mix it in with that. We want to get rid of this, and they did that. I think that made all the difference, DJ.
You're exactly right. I actually talked to Richard Turner, track prep guy here at Lucas Oil Speedway, about that, and he said the same thing. His exact words, he said, the old dirt, it was worn out. He said we had raced on it so much, simply put, it was worn out, it was unusable. We had to get something else. We had to get something that was going to kind of revive this racetrack and bring it back, and we got really lucky. We had some basically right here on our own property.
Yeah, and then Thursday night it was perfect. I mean, we could have ran a 100-lap race on Thursday night. Last night, they were expecting storms, about 5 or 6, right? Hey, that is
incorrect.
Get it out of here, Tiffany.
Forecast.
I want it
out
out of here.
Tiffany.
Get the weather.
We don't
out
even
of
have broken clouds.
No.
We have no fans. Do we have any clouds?
Hey, fans, what do we say to rain? Boo! No rain. We're not worrying about that tonight. And I tell you what,
awesome.
Mother Nature has been a race fan to us this weekend. Yesterday, it literally divided the racetrack, guys. It was closing in on us. We thought we were going to get a monsoon. We did not. And let's be honest, tonight we're going to get done because about 3 in the morning, it's going to be rocking and rolling around here. They're calling for some severe weather to come in.
It may come before that.
Well, like I said last night, they had to seal the track over there because of the rain.
Yes.
The rain chances just south of here. We had hail and all kinds of rain yesterday. Just a few drops here last night. Come out, reworked it. It was fantastic.
James, look at this Midway. These are your people. These
are my people.
They came to see the immortal James Essex, and they're in the Midway.
Yeah,
listen, anybody that thinks the Show Me 100 is not an event,
right.
a marquee crown jewel event,
right.
Look at that. I mean, that's all you need
beautiful.
to see right there. It's unbelievable. It's an energetic crowd. It's a knowledgeable crowd, too. These people, Ben, you and I, we talked to some fans last night. These people are dirt late model to the bone.
And $277,000 this weekend, Ben Shelton.
That's a record. And again, the past 2 nights, the past will be $6,000 to win. It was $10,000 to win each of the past 2 nights. Tonight, $50,000 to win, $2,000 to start, and just an amazing payout here. Guys, we've had 16 different winners and 31 runnings of this event. We're going to talk about that. So many different storylines. There's just so much much that's coming up that's on tap.
You're exactly right. We're going to talk about all of that and a lot more at the end of this commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is the pre-race show for the 32nd annual running of the Show Me 100.
Welcome back to Lucas Oil Speedway, the 32nd annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100 presented by the Missouri Division of Tourism. And that, my friends, is a jam-packed parking lot as Cars fans, they continue to pile into this facility tonight as we get to pay out $50,000 to the winner, a weekend payout. James, you talked about it, of over $270,000. And DJ, this is fun, man. This gets you fired up. James, awesome. James just signed 4 autographs, 3 babies, and took 2 pictures. It was amazing.
And nobody had
He's
to
a rock star.
Top. It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. James, you're a rock star. And look at all these signing autographs down there. Gordy Gundaker smiling. Both Gundakers in the show tonight. How about that for the St. Charles,
he
Missouri?
smiling in that pit crew challenge.
It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
That was about a 3-minute stop, and he only got 1 of the 2 tires changed. So that was, you have to work on that a little bit.
Oh, man.
How about it? It's going to be jam-packed here tonight, as you mentioned, no doubt about it. There we are. Is everybody ready back there?
Let's go, the Diamond Bar.
Come on, there you go.
James is the hype guy. James
is the hype guy. He's a man of the people. He doesn't even have a drink sitting beside him either. Here, I'm going to slide this on over, my Sprite.
There's 2 straws in there. I tell you what, it was legendary, almost history made on Thursday night. We've had 90 winners in the history of a series. We thought we were going to have 91, but James, a guy named Ricky Thornton Jr. spoiled the party on Thursday night. Let's roll to that highlight package and see how Thursday night's opener unfolded here with 63 drivers in the pit.
Right on cue, we got the
the Garrett Albertson.
Yeah, right there. The Garrett Albertson. Oh, this guy was close. He was very close.
Look, I led the first 40-something laps the other night, and no, we love it.
Oh, I love it.
I needed a PSG on that one, didn't he?
Let's throw those highlights.
Chris
up there,
Simpson
Tiffany.
jumped to the lead. We had 3 different leaders. Chris led the first 7 laps. Garrett took over in complete control until the very end, guys.
Well, and Chris Simpson early on, I thought he might become the 91st different driver to go to Lucas Oil Victory Lane. And Garrett Albertson, then he came to life. The one thing we noticed, Dustin, this racetrack was spectacular from the drop of the green.
It was really good, you know, and they didn't know exactly what to expect on it, right? Because this is the first time they've had really anything like this outside of those 2 Lucas Oil MLRA races earlier this year. But we saw in this 45 lappers, you can see there on the screen, guys running high, low, and really everywhere in between.
It was really spectacular, James, and this is something that maybe we haven't always seen at Lucas Oil Speedway in the past, especially in the opening nights when the racetrack is really fast and aggressive. But these guys were using a lot of different lines, and I'm going to be honest, Chris Simpson looked like he had a car that could go to victory lane, but here comes Garrett Albertson.
How many times have we done? Max Blair was the hard charger. He's passed 16 cars, but how many of the top 10 double figures passing cars? That was truly a tremendous race all the way through.
Dustin, how about Jonathan Davenport had to go to a backup car, started at the tail, and came all the way back to 9th.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He thought he had issues. Well, he did have issues on the primary car. He went to the backup, simply put, because he didn't have enough time to diagnose fully what the issue was on the primary car. He had to go to the tail of the field, and guys, he actually rallied to get a top 10 finish here on Thursday.
Yeah, 24th to 9th, and see right there, Chris Simpson was looking good, and Garrett Albertson, man, he's still looking for that first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Now, second place on Thursday night, that was his best career finish, and he's had, 4 third-place finishes this year, so one step closer to getting that first win, guys.
And as you see Ricky Thornton Jr. start to work his way through the pack, I think we all had the same thought, is he going to spoil the party here tonight? And Thornton's car, that second half of that lap on that race, he went softer on the right rear. That made a big difference.
You stole my line. You're exactly right. He went softer on the right rear than it seems like just about anybody else did, at least according to the drivers that they talked to in the pit area. But you know what? And we're going to see it here in just a few moments. There's a caution that comes out with, 3 laps to go in this race that changed the entire complexion of it, because Garrett Albertson had, guys, he had, and James, hold me honest here, I believe it was a 1.2 second advantage, if I'm not mistaken, when this Dave Warrant Power Sports caution comes out in a few moments, and that's what really changed the complexion of this race for the Las Cruces driver.
Of course, they got the big video board up here at Lucas Oil Speedway, and they tell them on the receiver on the restart, where they're lined up at, so it's like, you got 3 laps to go, and you got the #1 driver in the country on your fuel cell, getting ready to go. And it's like, man, oh man, he didn't need that caution. Chad Simpson brought it out. Chad ran second for most of the race, the current MLRA points leader, but it just wasn't meant to be. But Ricky Thornton Jr. coming from 6th, as you'll see here as this race winds down. But Garrett Albertson, what a shoe he is, and he's going to win a lot of races in his career, and it's coming.
You see Chad go around there. DJ, this caution, I think when it comes out, I think we all know what the outcome is going to probably be.
No.
We were hoping to see a first-time winner, but this restarts everything. It's just like Albertson's car did not want to go.
You're exactly right, and I think the interesting thing was Ricky Thornton Jr. said later, he said, on that restart, I felt like a villain. He said, I know everybody there wanted to see Garrett Albertson win that race. He said, but you know what? Money is money, he said, and I had to go and race for the win as well. I'm a full-time racer. He said, I had to go out and race for the win. He said, I felt bad because Garrett's a good friend of mine, but I did what I had to do to try to get by him on that restart.
Well, and I think the other big story, obviously, Thornton comes after Albertson, and all of a sudden, Devin Moran is running the top side of this racetrack like a madman. I thought Devin might get the win for a minute.
But like with Thornton, it's like giving the ball to Tom Brady with less than 2 minutes to go in a 2-minute drive, and you saw what happened with Thornton. So good at the end of races.
He is. I don't want to call him the closer like they called Kevin Harvick at one time, but man, you're exactly right, James. He is so good at closing and at finishing out races. As you see, he was the first one to take the checkered flag here on Thursday night.
He picked up the win, and Garrett Albertson, he tried to smile at victory lane. It was tough. You see Ricky Thornton Jr. down in the pit area, Sunoco Race Fuels flag flying high on that hauler, and we did it Thursday. We came back last night, and we said, you know what? Thornton's probably going to be really tough again, and Guys, he lived right up to the billing. The only difference was he was more dominant right from the get-go.
You're exactly right. I think one of the biggest differences for those that maybe didn't get to watch between Thursday and Friday night, on Friday night last night, they did a complete refarming of this racetrack. They spent about 30 minutes or so tilling up this racetrack, watering it, and running it back in. The difference also, it was only 40 laps last night versus 45 laps. So they put the Power I late models, the local spec motor late model division, out on the racetrack first, and then ran the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Why did they do that, some folks ask? Well, they did that because they wanted to get a little feel for what a full farm session would do with 60 laps on it then afterwards in preparation for tonight's Show Me 100.
Yeah, no doubt about it, just trying to recreate what it could be tonight. Of course, 100 laps. We've seen it last year. Last year we built up a cushion. It got a little rough in 3 and 4 there towards the end. 1 and 2 was still good, but they've been working on it all day. I tell you, Richard Turner, it's a no-win situation. Right? It's like a quarterback. You get blamed if you lose. You get all the credit if you win. And if we could have had a track like that Thursday night, but who knows, it might be tonight. I know they're going to give 100% effort.
What a good dude, too, Richard Turner, by the way. What
the most famous Turner here, by the way, other than his brother Eric. Right?
He had little time to work on the track last night because of the weather. Still a great race. Let's throw to Friday's highlight package and see how last night unfolded. And, boy, the fireworks came early and often in this one.
Yeah, they sure did. We thought we were going to have storms early on in the day. Those bypassed us, but that didn't mean there wasn't some thunder and lightning early on in this one. You're about to see it right here, James, when they came off corner number 4.
3 wide coming out at 2. Thornton gets the lead, and watch this coming out of 4. And up the track and into the wall. He said he hit the wall and Thornton at the same time, did JD. And Thornton, give him credit. He took 100% responsibility for what happened there, but that just stirs kind of the little rivalries we had as began down at Golden Isles back in January.
You're exactly right. And Ben, you talked to both those guys last night in Victory Lane at the Big River Steel podium. To James's point, Thornton owned up to it. And Davenport, at least it seemed like on camera, took it pretty well, too.
No, I think he did. And I thought it was important for me to let JD know, hey, Ricky said, my bad. Those got together. We all know the pushing and shoving on the Big River Steel podium to start the year, Golden Isles Speedway. I thought I was going to be in the middle of that again. And those guys see the big picture, too. They both had some sheet metal damage. But the one thing that we know is Thornton was so consistent out front. Behind him, though, we had another great racetrack. You see these guys battling 2 and 3 wide.
They were side by side.
Yeah, Moran good in 3 and 4 up high. 1 and 2 is where he had the problem. You see him right there coming out of 2. And they got into traffic. Again, only 1 caution, and that was on lap 10. So we went 30 straight laps to end the race without a caution. And Max Blair, he was right in there as well in the 111.
He was. Remember, he was the Todd Steel Building's hard charger, as you guys mentioned the night before. He came from 23rd up to, I think, 7th, if memory serves me correctly. Didn't have to come quite that far last night. He started inside the top 10 and finished in the top 10. But one thing I noticed as I go back and watch these highlights, and James, you might be able to relate to this, the track surface that we've seen here this weekend, it reminds me a lot of the track surface here from about 15 years ago or so. It gets kind of streaky, right? You know, the high groove will be good 1 lap, the low groove will be good 1 lap. 1 lap, you hit your marks, another lap, you're sliding all the way up the racetrack.
Well, if it was easy, everybody do track prep, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's not an exact science. It could be great one night, the next night it could be a snooze fest. I don't think that's the case here. There's plenty of room to race out there, and man, I'm just looking forward to this tonight. And you see there's Jonathan Davenport in the 49 car. But he and Max Blair had a good run. And this finish between the 111 and the 49, that was within inches right there. But Devin Moran getting the 2nd spot. But it looked like he was going to be able to get a run on Ricky. But Thornton good through traffic.
Well, that's what I was going to say, James. You kept touching on it. It seemed like Devin Moran would get his feet under him and start to reel in the leader, and then Ricky does what Ricky does. He just pulled away ever so slightly. The battle for 3rd, to your point, though, it looked like Max Blair was going to be a contender for 2nd. Next thing you know, Devin goes to his outside, and Jonathan Davenport finds some speed. Wait, a little bit of contact there at the line. But JD comes back and takes this final podium spot in what was a great finish.
Streaky, man. I'm telling you, this racetrack, I've talked to a few of the drivers. I went back and watched some highlights from early on here at Wheatland at Lucas Oil Speedway. This thing's really streaky, and it's just again, it makes for such a good race. I really and truly think that as we go back and rewatch these Friday night highlights, that we're going to have a barn burner tonight, guys. It could be one of those races, James, where you do have someone come from 24th, 28th up to the front of the field.
You don't have cars. We have 63 cars here on Thursday night. You don't have qualifications. You don't have 6C races. You're going to have 3 B mains, the last chance showdown, brought to you by Midway Sheetal and the 100-lap feature. And you got the Power Ride late models. We'll see how that all plays out. But, man, let's go right now.
And right now. James loves it. James is a man of the people.
What's he left us? They have left us. Are you ready to go? He's got 20 yards.
James we've lost all control of James in here. All is normal.
It's good. It's all good. His
He's lost his ear. Oh, no, Cheryl, get his earbud.
Pets' heads are falling off. I mean,
so late in the race last night, I will say Thornton got to traffic, and that Devin was able to make up some ground on him. James, it takes a village to raise a James.
It does. Indeed it does, yeah. But you're exactly right. It was, I was watching the lap times real close up top last night, Ben. Devin got it down to, I think, the closest he got it was maybe 6/10 at one time.
Yes.
And it ballooned back up to double that there towards the end of the race. But point is, I think as you see him take the Bears Performance 1 to go right there, I think really and truly there are 3 main drivers that stand out heading into tonight's event. One of them, or 2 of them, are the drivers on your screen right now, the 99 of Devin Moran and the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. And I think the other one is going to be the 49 of Jonathan Davenport. I think that if you're Vegas and you're the odds makers right now, and you're saying, these 3 guys versus the field, the field here is really freaking good, right? I don't know that I'm taking the field, though, because those 3 guys are that good.
What would you bet that James can get his earpiece back in? What do you think the Vegas odds on that might be? My wife's over here helping. We're playing in the grass.
It might be a good.
It
might be a good time for you and I to talk about the current Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP. I want to be one of those kids out there on the lawn right now.
They're having a big time. Well, no big surprise. Ricky Thornton Jr., 8 wins on the tour, atop the series standings as Jonathan Davenport second, going after his 4th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series title. Devin Moran back in 3rd, and right now Mike Marlar. And what is that all-important 4th position? But albeit when we get to September, you want to be 4th or better, but you don't want to lose much ground right now. And Hudson O'Neill right now, I feel like Huddy's making up some ground. They've debuted a new car here this weekend. They practiced at Gaffney, brought it straight here, and Nick Hardy, the crew chief, said we're learning something every night.
How about McCready, though? McCready, remember a couple of weeks ago, he was just 9th, and now he's up to 6th in that Rocket 1 car. So
and Garrett Albertson, DJ.
Yeah, Garrett Albertson has been one of the more consistent drivers here as of late. Brandon Shepard still hanging out there on the top 10 heading into this weekend. He'll fall out. Dalton Wilson, the winner of the East Bay Winter Nationals finale, rounding up the top 10. Important to note for the folks watching at home, the last 2 nights were not Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points events. They count towards the all-time win total, but they only accumulate points towards this evening's lineup for the Show Me 100.
And again, the O'Reilly Auto Parts tonight, right? O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase.
Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that as well.
25 points between 1st and 2nd. Clay Harris and Drake Troutman. I believe they are on the front row of their B mains. And then you have Brendan Smith, who made the show here on Thursday night, and then Corey Lawler and Carson Ferguson, who ran well here one night ago.
Well, so many storylines playing out here tonight. We're going to step aside. We're going to thank some marketing partners. When we come back, more of the pre-race show from the Diamond of Dirt Tracks, the 32nd annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100. And you're either in the house or you're watching it all live. MAP TV on FloRacing. Don't go anywhere.
What makes for a great vacation depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Do you want to feed your soul or stuff your face? Fortunately, however you operate, I've got you covered. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO?
I don't know what it is. I totally feel like I'm a kid again when I get on my buzz bike.
Horsepower, baby. You know me, I like horsepower.
We no longer bring golf carts to the racetrack because we have buzz bikes.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download in Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fan.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is brought to you by General Tire. For whatever you do, General Tire delivers. And by Lucas Oil, keep that engine alive. And by E3 Spark Plugs. What are you running? And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this extended pre-race show here at the 32nd Annual Show Me 100, as there is a look at several of the campers located here on the grounds in Wheatland, Missouri. And this pre-race show is coming to you live from the one and only Diamond Bar. How about it, Diamond Bar?
There we go. There we go. How's your diamond beverage going over here?
It's only half full now. It's about time for another one.
Now, how's it? Is that 1994?
Then that's the second. That'd been 1994. Who won that race that year, James?
It would have been Billy Moyer.
It would have been Billy Moyer.
Yes, it would. Coming through with this on the retro shirt. I love it.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you.
I love that.
Good to have you.
I tell you what, there's a lot going on and a lot of upcoming events here on Flow.
There are a lot of upcoming events. One event that we had earlier today, though, was the Hellraiser Jacks Pit Crew Challenge, and that was, I tell you what, you talk about something that, let's be honest, none of us knew exactly what to expect going into this event, and what it ended up being was a hell of a lot of fun.
We had so much fun down there, and the teams were laughing and talking to them in the pit area. They were even the ones that did really bad. We're not going to name anybody. Gordy and Trevor Gundaker.
They all took it seriously, though. They were all serious about it. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the video. I think we actually have some of the incriminating evidence from today's Hellraiser Jack Crew competition.
Roll that
Let's go to the beautiful
footage.
Yes, that's going to say the same thing. And look at them rolling right out of the gate. Ross Robinson's crew, and they set the time to beat, even though they might have let a lug nut loose.
38.6.
Yep.
Yes. And so there were you were allowed to have 3 crew members. One guy could jack, one guy on the left rear, one guy on the right rear, and there was a whole other line of stipulations as well.
They had to use a Hellraiser jack provided by the series,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And the right rear, they had to have a 92. It's 11 by 92. It was tough on some of these bodies to get that right rear off, as you saw, because you were over there, Dr. Jerry Punch, calling that on the right side.
Easy there, Killer.
Yes.
But
Yes,
Devin Moran's crew, look, they had the flow. This was the best one. They roll up here. It looked like Poison ran out there, Memorial Day gear.
There's Brett Michaels.
You got Brett Michaels, CC
out
DeVille.
there.
You got Ricky Rocket out there. We were looking for Bobby Dodd. That's all we were missing. And they went to work, and they took the lead by 24/100ths of a second. And they did it in Crocs. I think that we got to adjust it. They did it in Crocs.
You can see there's a great shot of the Crocs right there. So it's people at home they're asking, they're like, why in the ever-loving heck are these guys dressed up like this? There was a Best Appearing Crew award that went along with the Fastest Team award as well.
And there was also a rumor, James, you were in the way all day. That was what the teams kept saying.
Trevor Gundaker comes out after he helping Simpson.
He was helping Simpson.
Yeah, he comes out there and swings that jack around and about took me out, man. I got a 15-yard penalty for clipping on that baby.
Look at Trevor down there.
Yeah, Trevor down there on the jack.
Trevor and Gordy.
That was as good as it got for them.
This one wasn't bad. It was Gordy's pit stop that was. It never really.
They just finished it right before we went live. It was roughly an hour and a half.
It was not.
They're still
good
looking
at all.
for that 5th lug nut.
Look at Chris Davis in the background, cowboy hat on, Mr. Midwest sheet metal.
He did not win Best Appearing Sponsor.
But you know who did?
Yeah.
Rocket One Racing.
There
They
it
picked
is,
up
right,
$1,000 for Best Appearing Crew.
And you called it best when you said they came out looking like a bunch of accountants. They had their button-up shirts, they had on their khaki shorts and their belts.
They did my taxes at the end of it. And then they had trouble. Danny White told me, he goes, I could not get the tire off of the right rear, and then I lost the lug nut. Tim McCready was harassing them, pointing at his watch while he was in the car, and then finally hit the kill switch. You see Danny, he said, man, I just could not get it off there.
And you notice that that Danny and on the other side, Joel, they had, there's your winners right there, the 99 team. There's Roger Sellers and crew chief Chuck Kimball. But you saw the harnesses that the Rocket One team was wearing. They had GoPros mounted on them. We went back and checked that GoPro video footage. Unfortunately, the cameras were not pointed straight out. out, they were pointed straight down, so all you saw was the sidewalk.
I think that team did not want to see that footage again, is what I
well,
think.
Gordy Gundaker, what did he say? He's in the race tonight. He said, I hope we don't have a pit stop like that during the race because we're going to be way behind. But to get the bad one out of the way. But that was a fun, and hopefully we can do that again somewhere down the road.
James, this is your second home, the Diamond Bar. We are inside there doing the pre-race show right now.
That's right. They locked the door on us, on DJ and I, to get in here.
Ben and I closed it down last night.
We did. They actually did the ugly lights. They flickered the lights twice, and they went ugly lights, and they kicked us out.
Hey, let's take a look at some of the upcoming events here that you are going to see on FloRacing. Of course, Kubota High Limit. We have them all season long. Their next event's coming up over the course of the next week or so with Grandview Speedway, Lawrenceburg, Butler, Davenport, and I-70. Ben, we finally get back into action, hopefully with Castrol FloRacing Night in America Tuesday.
We are going to be at the mighty Macon Speedway, 5th Mile Oval. And after 87 rainouts to start the year, Castrol FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, will finally get underway. Yeah,
but you also got cars coming up at Langley on June 1st. Indiana Midget Week, James. They invade your home state, the Hoosier State. When was the last time you went to an Indiana Midget Week race?
I would say Bloomington, probably.
What an outstanding series.
And
what a
how
great
about,
week.
How about the Dirt Late Model Dream?
Yes, and Flow Night in America kicking off. You'll be pit reporting.
I can't wait.
You and Norris pit reporting.
Jamie Essex will be Jamie Little that night, so me and Mike Norris will be all good to go. I'll bring my ponytail and we'll rock it.
You can see if maybe Devin Moran's crew can loan you a wig. I would love you down there with a white.
Awesome.
And I tell you what, how about this autograph line? It just keeps going.
How about this crowd?
I love it. I love
This is going to be a sellout, and come on, this is just awesome. I love it. Great weather, and looking forward to it. $50,000 on the line tonight out of a $277,000 purse and championship points and a wonderful trophy, and all three of us are here. It's just bad. It's just great.
And as we
what
get
else
to this,
am I going to say?
Once we get to this point in the year, we really kick it into gear.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
is a very busy schedule coming up for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series as we get ready to roll into June, July, August, and the hits just keep coming. There are so many great events and so many different great markets the series is going to be thundering into.
No, you're exactly right, as we're going to take a look at the E3 Spark Plug's upcoming schedule for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And once we leave here, James, series has actually got a little bit of time off before you will roll into Smoky Mountain Speedway, the Roger Sellers own track, with our good friend Brady Cup pit reporting.
Brady Cup in the house, and then we'll be at Lernerville, and we can't wait to see those folks for the Firecracker 100, another $50,000 first place prize, and I'll give you some Marburger sweet tea. Right?
Yes. Did you say Marlboro sweet tea?
Maybe that as well.
Sweet tea.
But yeah, everybody there does a great job. Can't wait to get back there for the third year in a row at Lernerville for the Firecracker.
Then, of course, Portsmouth and Muskingum County, my home state, the Buckeye State of Ohio.
And then your second home
And then we
state.
head to my second home in Iowa, where the Slocum 50 will be has been rescheduled, and it'll be a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race. Ben, you get to make your very first ever trip to the Brad Stevens Jesse Minette promoted facility.
I've never been to 34 Raceway. Worked out the logistics this morning. James, I'll be joining you there for that, and then we'll head to Tri-City Speedway the next night, and we just hope it doesn't rain 87 inches like it did after qualifying last year.
Yeah, and then we'll be back here
right
for the
here.
Diamond Nationals, in the middle of July. Cusits.
Let's go.
Silver Dollar Nationals.
Silver Dollar Nationals. What a great site this is. What a great place. Danny Lorton and his staff. What else can we say?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Hey, we still got some more things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Pre-race show for the 32nd annual Show Me 100 rolls on after this. We are live from the Diamond Bar here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
We showed the world what it means to go big. Combining mini mill technology with industry-leading talent, producing steel our customers need in an environmentally responsible way. Now, we're going even bigger. Big River Steel is building a second, highly sustainable and technologically advanced steel mill, allowing us to deliver even more of the sustainable steel needed to solve the challenges of tomorrow without sacrificing performance today. That's big picture steel.
General Tire delivers.
Time is ticking away. Don't be late. Listen up, drivers, tracks, and series. Order your merch now. Arizona Sports Shirts. It's more than just shirts. Hats, hoodies, koozies, flags, keychains, and much, much more. Get your custom design and order before the racing season begins. Order today. ArizonaSportShirts.com. That's Arizona Sports Shirts, the original racing shirt.
It's just like it's a dream like he's got it called, that we get to run for that kind of money being in the dirt.
And a $100,000 check for Scott Bloomquist, your winner.
When I started out, it was about $100, and I'd never dreamed that I'd ever pay $100,000 to win on dirt.
I was hoping it'd happen sooner or later, and finally did, so we're glad it's here.
Good. Glad to be a part of it here.
I'm going to go out and give it everything I got. Late model racing needed something like this.
You always dream of something like this.
You always got a chance as long as you're out there on the racetrack.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 32nd annual running of the Show Me 100 pre-race show live here at the Diamond Bar. James is still making friends here. And James, Ben, you have found a retro Rick Eckert T-shirt.
I love it.
Tell us a little bit about this one.
I grew up in Arkansas and went to every Topless 100 and then Show Me 100 when I was at West Plains. And my grandpa always took me to Rick's trailer when he raced for Ray Vest, and so big time fan of his. I got to meet him here at the Diamond Bar actually in 2020, and we got to recreate a picture we took. So always been a big fan, man. He's a great guy, and just happy to be here. It's a great atmosphere, and ready to see some good racing.
I don't think Eckert ever said run the damn ball, but you got that on your hat there.
I don't think he did either, but it is what it is. Just ready to have a good time. But Rick's a great guy, man. Wish he was still racing with us, but
who's going to win tonight?
Oh man, it's 20R2 of the field, right? That's kind of the bet, but we'll see. I just hope it's a good race. I hope it's race.
There you go.
There you go.
Thanks
so
for coming.
Rick Eckert never said run the damn ball because he was a professional chess player. That's all Rick Eckert was playing. It's Gordy.
Gordy Gundaker, ladies and gentlemen.
So Gordy, did we ever actually get the tires back on your car?
Yeah, we finally made it. I think it was 10 minutes later we got it going. We were just talking about it, but I think what we should have done was pulled a fast one and made you three do a pit stop and see how good you guys could have done.
We couldn't have been any worse than you guys.
Yeah, I bet you could have. You could have.
Did it occur to you there was a problem? You let your brother be on the crew. That was your first mistake?
Yeah, it must have been, So I'm glad he's in the race with me tonight, not going to be changing any of my tires.
Hey, real quick, shameless plug. Next weekend, you got a big race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Summer Cup Clash next weekend at Tri-City Speedway, May 31st, June 1st. It's a huge two-day show, my first time promoting a race, and super excited about it. We got some great guys coming. 2 5,000 wins on Friday night and 20,000 to win, 2,500 to start, pays 5,000 to run 10th on Saturday. So either watch live on Flow, or if you can be there at Tri-City Speedway, come on out.
How's Doc Throttle loving all this?
Oh man, he's eating it up, man. It's been awesome to see him come down there and see all the people stop by, and today, there's just people in and out of there, getting adjusted, and he's saved me numerous times. There was a couple races last year, my neck was all messed up, and he fixes me right up. So it's a good thing to have him.
I hope you don't have a flat tire tonight. That's all I got to say.
I went to Doc Throttle yesterday. I got to the press box 2/10 quicker than I had all week long. It was unreal.
Yeah, I know. You guys look a little bit taller sitting over here.
We feel taller. Thank you. We feel good. Hey, get out and support his race. TriCitySpeedway.net next weekend. Racers wanted big money. This guy's giving them big money. Go support him. But tonight, real quick, you are in this show. No B main tonight. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. The last two nights had to kind of come from the back to get to the front. So starting 10th, that's a hell of a lot. At least I can see the front, when we take the green. So, we should be pretty good. The car's been really good this weekend, and 100 laps is a long time. So, usually I feel like I'm pretty good in the longer races when the racetrack kind of moves around, and hopefully the bottom might come in a little bit, and maybe we'll find our way on Victor Lane.
Guys, you don't know who's going to ever stop by. Gordy Gundaker race. Hey, Bart, what about it for Gordy Gundaker? Make some noise.
And he's got a tab open at the bar, too. Put on the Gordy Gundaker tab.
I will if I win this thing.
There you go. I just hope we don't have to make a pit stop.
Our producer's ready to kill us because we've gone so far off.
Sorry,
Let's talk
Tiffany.
about the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year battle right now, and it's a good one. We got 5 really good drivers going after that title.
Yeah, you caught up with them yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it was a little bit of a Laurel and Hardy show. We'll show that here in a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current point standings for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. Clay Harris coming into the weekend, James, with a 25-point advantage over Drake Troutman.
Yeah, $20,000 to win the championship this year in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie Chase. $5,000 for second, $2,500 for third. Plus, Ben, $10,000 in contingencies at the banquet and $6,500 in contingencies from Fox Shocks. Awesome.
Well, and we talked about all that with an inside track yesterday for O'Reilly Auto Parts, the sponsor of this year's Rookie of the Year battle with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Let's take a look at that. For the 2024 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series campaign, O'Reilly Auto Parts is back on board to sponsor the Rookie of the Year competition. This year, we've got 5 great rookies going after that title. They include Jupiter, Florida's Clay Harris, Hindman, Pennsylvania's Drake Troutman, Dade City, Florida's Brendan Smith, Hanover, Pennsylvania's Corey Lawler, and Lincolnton, North Carolina's Carson Ferguson. Up for grabs this year for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year is an industry best $20,000 for the best performing rookie, plus over $10,000 in product certificates. Second in the competition will get $5,000, and third will get $2,500. A huge thank you goes out to O'Reilly Auto Parts for their continued sponsorship of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and everything they do for racing. For more information on all of their products, visit them online at O'ReillyAuto.com. And again, a huge shout out to O'Reilly Auto Parts for all they do for racing. DJ, as we get ready to wrap this up, something very special Flo has put together about who was just an amazing special person, Brian Clausen. Talk about this new feature.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to show the trailer for it last night. We're going to throw it to the trailer again here in just a second. But Brian Clausen and Lauren Stewart at the time, he was chasing 200 races in 1 year, and that was the year that he unfortunately lost his life. And they were documenting a lot of that. Flo's been able to work out a deal where they were able to obtain not only that footage, but talk to a lot of folks behind the scenes, members of the Clausen family, to put that footage together and then talk about Driven to Save Lives. Because Brian Clausen was an organ donor. As it turned out, him losing his life, as tragic as that was, enabled so many other people to live because he was an organ donor. Brian Clausen's Chasing 200 is now available for full watch, for full replay on FloRacing. Here's a look at Brian Clausen's Chasing 200.
19 races down, 181 to go.
It ain't that many.
Yeah, it is. That's a lot.
Optimist, pessimist.
Brian Clausen is the man on a mission. He is one of the best open-wheel drivers of our generation.
Methodical and patient, but there was also a lot of aggression. It was like he was a shark, could smell blood in the water at all times. He was the guy that kind of set the bar.
Those eyes, every time, I could see the determination and the focus. He never wanted to be complacent. He always wanted a challenge. He always wanted something more.
Brian's way more excited about this life on the road thing than me.
This isn't even life on the road yet.
200 races in a year is insane.
Oh my God, this kid is something else.
I don't think it's insane at all. If I was a cup racer, I'd probably be chasing 200 with Brian Clausen.
Jim, you want to go to the races?
It's going to be a year unlike any other in our life.
He had something to prove to the world, and he wasn't going to stop until he did it.
Kind of locked in right now. Feel like I eat, race, sleep, and repeat.
Gotta do a quick little refresher for IndyCar.
Brian risked it all every time he strapped on a race car.
The reality is it's an inherently dangerous sport.
Clausen right in the wall, and DC went over again.
A big impact.
You hear the explosion sound that it made. There aren't very many that hit you quick like that.
I knew in that moment that this is not good.
Last night, we said goodbye to our son, fiance, and friend, Brian Clausen.
He had a heart on his driver's license.
It was in that moment that kind of changed everything.
Brian's out there still doing great things in a different perspective now.
He truly meant it when he said he had the coolest job in the world, and he wanted to do what he could to leave his impact on the sport.
You really get a sense of how much bigger all of this is than you.
You don't have to wait for the situation to drop in your lap to do what's right.
For me, he was larger than life.
who he was as a person off the racetrack, and his decision to save lives is his legacy.
Need like cool intro song playing right now?
Sing something.
No.
And once again, Brian Clausen's Chasing 200 is now available for everyone to view on FloRacing. I have not yet had a chance to watch it, but talking to some of the people behind the scenes, I know that everybody I've talked to has said it's the best documentary Flo has put out to this date.
Yeah, even though we're late model guys, we're what Brian was doing. Race fans. Pat Sullivan, I know, probably had a lot to do with all this as well. And that guy there's a super guy, and he's done so much for racing, not only announcing, but all he does with the history of the sport.
And Brian's impact, obviously, what he did on the track, but what he did off the track is saving lives for years to come. Guys, we are moments away from Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway, the 32nd annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100. DJ, final thoughts as we get set to mash the loud pedal for the third time this weekend.
My final thoughts are this. I really and truly think that this guy right here is going to be the guy to beat with the 49, with the 99. But we've also got an old school type racetrack here tonight as well. It would not surprise me one bit to see someone come from deep in the field and make a run in this race. I'll leave you with that. James Essex, your final thoughts.
I look at Jimmy Owens. He starts 14th. He won this race 3 years in a row in, 2010, 2011, 2012. Then he won in 2016. He might get it done tonight. I think the fan favorite would be Garrett Alberson to get it done here tonight. His biggest win of his career. He's going to fire from the outside of the front row. But starting up front here, I don't know, because you get into traffic and it's the long green flag stretch. Anything can happen, but I just want to see a good race, and I'm still hoping for that 3-wide finish at the line.
Well, I think we are going to see an aggressive race here tonight. I think that obviously Ricky Thornton Jr. is hard to bet against. The guy starting outside of row 2 has won 7 times here in the past 2 years, from late models to the SRX series. He's done a little bit of everything. Jonathan Davenport, he's only won this race once back in 2015. He's going to be a contender in 100 laps. One thing we know, it is going to be a fun night. This place is jam-packed. We're moments away from firing the cars up. We're going to step aside. These guys are going to head up top to their booth. I'm going to head to the infield, and we're going to get set to kick things off the 32nd annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100 from here at Lucas Oil Speedway. You're either in the house or you're watching it all live. Matt TV on FloRacing. Don't go anywhere.
Here at Tuners Inc., we see cars come in with 80 horsepower all the way up to 1,500 horsepower. The goal of almost every customer in here is to pick up performance in their vehicle. They want to gain horsepower, they want to gain torque. What we have found with E3 spark plug is the quality of the plug and the way it's built. E3 is our performance plug that's going to last longer.
E3 Diamond Fire technology maximizes the fuel burn for more power and better fuel efficiency.
E3 spark plugs. What are you running?
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
What makes for a great vacation depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Do you want to feed your soul or stuff your face? Fortunately, however you operate, I've got you covered. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO?
For more than 15 years, Earnhardt Technologies Group has been a prominent force in the racing industry, driven by the legacy of Dale Earnhardt. Our dedication to providing premium parts and products is evident through our exceptional customer service and innovative offerings that are widely recognized throughout motorsports. Our team of experts is committed to manufacturing the highest quality parts. You can trust that with our unwavering commitment to quality, Earnhardt Technologies Group remains the market leader.
At Nutrien Ag Solutions, we are dedicated to your success. We partner with growers like you to expand your possibilities with unparalleled offerings. Your unique challenges are met with more customized solutions than anyone else can offer. With you, we're feeding the future together.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Wheatland, Missouri. It's the final night of racing action for the 32nd annual Show Me 100. Dustin Jarrett here alongside the voice of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, James Essex. Our partner in crime, Ben Shelton, will be joining us from the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit all evening long. James, we've transitioned from the Diamond Bar up to the press box. You were a man of the people.
We had a great day. This weather's perfect. There's no clouds. No broken clouds tonight.
And no thunderstorms like what popped up on the screen earlier. We're good.
But the Hellraiser Pit Crew Challenge, Pit Stop Challenge went awesome. Those guys gave it all they had. And the Diamond Bar, very receptive down there, aren't they?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Among our peeps, and we appreciate it.
It was cool. It was something new, something different, something that we'd never done before, and honestly, I think it went pretty well. They're rolling this racetrack in here just a little bit. Schedule gets underway with hot laps a few minutes ago. They want to make sure they got this track good and ready to roll before they turn them loose and barrel them off into turns 1 and 2. We will have a very, very quick hot lap session, James, for the drivers in our 3B mains, and then we will roll into this evening's opening ceremonies.
So Mike Striegel on the flag stand, the chief starter here at Lucas Oil Speedway, as those cars that are in the Fast Shafts B main number 1, again, all B mains, there'll be 3 of them tonight. It'll be 15 laps. Top 2 will transfer, and then giving away the best positions after the provisionals for the Midwest Sheet Metal Challenge race. And the winner of that will have the choice of either starting 31st in the field here tonight or heading to a Cardinals game tomorrow or Lake of the Ozarks or wherever, right?
Maybe Benton County Speedway up in Vinton, Iowa.
Could be.
$4,500 to win IMCA Modified 45th Annual Spectacular.
Got a lot of viewers tonight. I know a lot of rainouts all over the country, and we're glad you're joining us here on MAV TV on FloRacing.
If you've never watched before, we don't typically open shows from the bar at the racetrack because most racetracks don't have a bar on site.
There's only a couple, aren't they?
How about the crowd, man? I just noticed. They are all the way down to the front row.
Yeah, it's packed and stacked, as you'd say. And the back straightaway looks good as well. Now that's the pit area over there, but they can get over there, and they're in the sun here for a while. It's still kind of hot, but it's a beautiful evening here in Wheatland, Missouri. Population through 371. Yeah. And there's people still coming in over there.
10,371.
Yeah. Ricky Thornton Jr., he's walked out here with 20,000 the last 2 nights, trying to add 50K to that tonight. And there's a shot there of the pit area. Wonderful facility, of course, and they spruced it up. It looks as good as it did the day that it opened.
Yeah, it's
DJ
it's a diamond of dirt tracks, man.
Back in the day, it was Brian Burkhofer. He was the man to beat here. Then it was Jimmy Owens, and now it's been Jonathan Davenport. 7 wins here in the last 2 years, but
only one win in this event in the Show Me 100, and that came 9 years
2015.
ago.
Yes, we've had 6 different winners. 6 previous winners are with us this weekend. Jimmy Owens, who's won it 4 times. Then last year, Devin Moran. Then we've had Jimmy Owens, as I mentioned, won it 4 times. Billy Moyer 3 times. He won 3 of the first 4. And then Peyton Looney won in 2020, and then Hudson O'Neill in 2021.
Don O'Neill,
Don O'Neill's won it. Yes,
he's not racing, but he won it back in 2014.
Yep.
And so, of course, Devin Moran was the winner last year, and Ricky Thornton Jr., he was the first one to cross the stripe, failed to pass Tech, though. And that sits with him. Yeah, I mean, that
well,
weighs on
they've got the
guys.
chain limiter on the back of that for the droop rule, and it was, the track got a little treacherous there, and that cost him, they docked him a few spots, and then Moran gets the money and the trophy. But, Thorne's going to come back for a look at a shot tonight. There's the Coleman Farms 96 of Tanner English, the 2020 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year. He will be in the second B main, and they are stacked. But how about the rookies and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie they're chasing this UNOH B main number 2? Troutman and Brandon Smith are going to be on the front row.
That's right. And they're going to have Dylan McCowan behind them inside row number 2 in that second UNOH B main. And McCowan, remember, he was 6th in the Show Me 100 last year. Actually, I talked to him. I ran into him at the gas station, grocery store, diner, hair care, all in one place here at in Wheatland, the Hickamo, just down the road earlier. And there's a good look at McCowan. You notice he's pulled out the backup car. He said, you know what? He said the other car, he said, honestly, Something just didn't feel right on it. He says, we're going to pull out the backup and see if it's any better. He said, I think I'm going to be in the show anyway because I think the way the carts are falling, I might be able to rely on a Lucas Oil MLRA Series provision.
Yeah, right now, Chad Simpson, he is in the race. His brother Chris as well. Gordy Gundaker's third in the points. He is in. Tony Jackson Jr. is not in yet. He's outside row 2 of the first B main. Trevor Gundaker's in. Then it's Dylan McCowan. So shot in that. As far as Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, there's only 5 not yet in out of about 16 of them. So those will be coming up. By the way, Clay Harris, a shout out to him. He's going to be in the outside front row of that B main, the My Race Pass B main number 3, beside the veteran Earl Pearson Jr. Looking forward to seeing him run here tonight.
And you talk about Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series regulars. Again, worth mentioning, Boom Briggs not with us on tour this weekend, James. His brother Steve battling some health issues back home, and it was, correct me if I'm wrong, was voted on by the drivers.
Voted on by the drivers.
He will get hardship points.
He gets hardship points, and Chase Parmley, he gave it a good run here a year ago, came up short in making the Show Me 100. A little problem down here in turn number 1. I don't think he backed it into the wall, did he?
Doesn't look like it. Looked like he just backed it up to the wall.
And again, that is an 18-degree steel block.
Yes.
So he gave it a run here last year. Now remember, he had to have a door from Garner, right? So he was the USA
182.
180,
probably. I don't know.
It's like trying to figure out Ethan Dotson's number, because obviously he's been in the 174. On the roof, it's got 174. But Tyler Austin Brashear said they ran out of decals. Just get a Sharpie and write a 1 there, Tyler. Come on now. Tyler Austin Brashear's the Arkansas State duck calling champion. How long ago was that? A couple years ago?
I think it was just a few years ago. Yeah, I heard that he beat you to win that.
I don't know. Any word on Gordy Gundaker? If they got that tire back on yet?
I don't know. Gordy was able to crash our party down there in the Diamond Bar as we were doing our pre-race show. The Hellraiser Jacks Pit Crew Challenge was a ton of fun today. There is this year. Look, this is something they did about 15 years ago here. It was not sponsored. It was a Pit Crew Challenge. It wasn't sponsored by Hellraiser Jacks. Tim Sheets and his team from Hellraiser Jacks, they come on and say, hey, we'd like to bring this back. We'd like to do it. We think it's, these guys are up and down the road. There's so much stress in racing. We want to do something fun for the drivers. And it was. It ended up being a lot of fun, and this year was kind of a trial run, so to speak. We got a ton of video footage from it. You and I and Ben called it. It was in the middle of the afternoon. We had a nice crowd here. There's a plan to put some of that on FloRacing later on, and if Hellraiser Jacks, if they continue to have this event, I would say that there is a good likelihood that will be live on FloRacing in 2025.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And, Ross Robinson, his group, they ran second in that. And he still got docked to second, and still
he was still second. He was that far. Yes, he was that far ahead of everyone else. Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, it was that was fun, and that was just awesome. I love doing those different things, and
the American Dream Team they were the winners. The Devin Moran crew, led by Chuck Kimball and company, come out looking like Brett Michaels and Poison out there with the
All-American Crocs.
They did have All-American Crocs on.
Tanner English, 17.818 in the Brett Coleman Farms entry. How about Brendan Smith? He made the race here on Thursday night. He's going to be in the front row of a B-main, and there you see the crowd. It is, Dustin, packed and stacked here tonight. That is awesome.
Man,
to see.
It is great crowd. I mean, it's I say that in a lot of places, but you can't make that shot up right there. That's a darn good crowd.
63 cars here on Thursday. You say, well, but you look. I go back to 2014.
That's
10 years ago. That is exactly the average. Is 63 cars, and
up from last year.
Memorial Day weekend. Hey, I'm not saying nothing. I mean, it's like, this should be the only race for Dirt Late Model. I mean, as far as big crown jewel events, Memorial Day weekend, right? I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
I want to work smarter, not harder. Let's work together.
I know. But we thank each and every one of those 63 drivers, because and we appreciate each and every one for coming out here to the Diamond of the Dirt Tracks.
There's Peyton Looney, the 2020.
Yep. We had to run that in July. Remember, of course, that was the COVID year, so we ran it in that year in that Jeremy Atnip owned car, 15. the second driver from the state of Missouri to win the Show Me 100. Of course, Terry Phillips was the first one back in 1999.
And how about that guy, James?
He's here.
Jeremy Petty back with us. He had to fly to Charlotte because he moonlights as a crew chief in ARCA.
For the ARCA Menards rookie Ryan Roulette, and the landpride.com 77 flew back here. I assume he flew into Springfield this morning, and welcome him back. There's Brennan Willard in the Midwest Sheet Metal number 3, the Ernest Properties owned car. Out of Lebanon, Missouri.
He's going to start 8th in Fast
We've
Shaft.
had Willard, Missouri. Neosho, though. Neosho is
do you know the number on this car, James? You mispronounced it.
We got a new sponsor for the 21 XXX.
Oh, you do?
Neil Packett out of Columbus, Mississippi. He was the 2023 Mississippi State Challenge Series champion in that Montgomery Farms entry. There's Poncho's son, Corey Lawler, the Dry D93 car. First time out here. All 5 rookies. First time here.
Yes.
In Wheatland, Missouri.
That is correct. That is correct. And Carson Ferguson, he has raced his way into the show. And he is, I believe he is the only rookie that has raced his way in.
Well, I know his cousin, of course, Chris Ferguson wanted to be here. He had plans to be here, but then, they wrecked a car a few weeks ago, and the Bloomquist car, so they got him a Longhorn. They'll be out at the Dirt Late Model Dream in a few weeks, but he loves this place, this Chris Ferguson. And he's got his crew, they work full-time jobs. Dearly wanted to be here, so hopefully we'll see him in 2025.
I know, doggone it. He did. He raced closer to home last night. He raced at Ultimate. He lost a motor last night. Yeah, and I believe it was at Ultimate with the Outlaws. And man, just that's tough, man. One of the likable dudes in our sport. Look at that, James. Jeremy Petty. It's like he didn't even miss last night. He's back at the top of the leaderboard.
Petty.
Yes, in this session of Dirt Draft Tot Laps. And go ahead.
I want to say something about Jeremy Petty. He came up here afterwards Thursday night, and he was thanking you and I, and he said, you don't know how much it means to me to have you guys talk about me like that. And he started on the front row of a heat race.
Normally we don't talk good about people.
And we are impartial as we can. I mean, obviously. And it really makes you feel good to have people come out and thank you for that. Gave us some shirts to pass out to the kids, which we did yesterday, but quite an honor. Here's a guy that won the Power Eye feature last night.
Is he undefeated in the Power Eye late models this year? Is there, can I get a
Justin
head nod?
Wells.
Is Justin Wells undefeated in Power Eye late models here this year? Yes, he is. I'm getting
we got a head nod on that. Yeah.
Maybe put a bounty on him pretty soon. I mean, the guy can't be beat. And he raced his way into the show last night, James. He is going to start on the outside front row. Fast Shaft Speed Main number 1 coming up here in just a little bit.
And Jason Silva's a little bit of an issue there coming out of turn number 2, the 0X car.
I do like that car. That's a good car. That's a good looking ride.
I'll tell you all these graphics, and of course, we're partial to our buddy Michael Lefevre, Slicker Graphics and all that, and he does such a great job, the slickest move of the race. I think last night, Ricky Thornton Jr., that 3-wide pass for the lead on the first lap. Get that, but
it was wild.
He's going to go $2,000 to the driver with the most slickest moves of the year. There's Tony Jackson Jr., saw Shane Clan and Tony down at Hickamos earlier today.
Did you?
They're on Capitol Corner there on the back. Not Hickamos. Hickamos just down the street, but Capitol Corner there outside of turn 3. Billy Moyer. How about Tyler Stevens? That heartbreak a year ago. Remember that leading the Midwest Sheet Metal Showdown, right?
Yes, he was.
And he broke. And right now, quickest in this group, 16.657 for the Paragould, Arkansas driver.
Yeah, again, Dirt Draft Tot Laps. If you have not yet done so, you can sign up and you can play tonight. There is a new Dirt Draft contest tonight. All you got to do is go to dirtdraft.com. It's a lot of fun. You don't even have to be a gambler. I enjoy gambling, but man, I enjoy playing Dirt Draft as well, because I tell you what, it's a ton of fun. You get a $100,000 salary cap, so to speak.
Right.
You got to pick 5 drivers and put together your team, and you can compete with hundreds, even over 1,000 other people on any given race night across multiple different disciplines and divisions of racing, and see how you do. And it turns out I thought I was really good. It turns out I actually stink. I'm not that good at all.
Always tonight, my friend. Hey, don't forget My Race Pass as well. The great people at My Race Pass, and we request how many entries you got, who's all there, live timing and scoring, current points. My Race Pass, so Google app, all that. $7.99 a year. That's everything. There's over 600 racetracks and sanctioning bodies that have it My Race Pass. And again, up to a minute, entries, point standings, race results, live timing and scoring. on and on and on schedules. Again, go to My Race Pass and pick $7.99 a year. Can you do that?
Yes, I can do that, and I do that because I would be lost without My Race Pass. It's not only as an announcer, but as a race fan.
And all the crews, they use them in the pit area, obviously, and fans here at the track, fans at home. It's just awesome. There's Steve Stoltz, the Peoria, Arizona driver, regular with the Lucas Oil MLRA Series, right now standing 15th in the points.
He's going to start 7th in UNOHB main number 2 a little bit later on this evening. There's Ethan Dodson. You talked about him earlier, James, the new driver of that ASD Motorsports 74X.
Starting year's the 14 with Will Harrington. Lance Wright, he's here, son of the Hall of Famer Barry Wright. There's Dylan McCall, the Sonic number 8, last year's Lucas Oil MLRA Rookie of the Year. How about Brenda Smith right now, 16.395 in that car number 17 SS, owned by his father, Sean, who is not here. And Sean, I know you're watching tonight. Best wishes to you. And they picked up a new sponsor this week, Total Claims Source, for that Rocket Durham, Dustin.
Yeah, and Jeremy Shaw is going to sneak around him to have the fastest lap in that wave of dirt draft hot laps. So the Milport, Alabama driver there on your screen, and that Bud Coley Trucking and a Grace Property sponsor number 1S clocks in at a 1:6.381. Again, 3 B mains tonight for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. The top 2 out of those 15-lap B mains, they will transfer into the Show Me 100. We will then have the Midwest Sheet Metal Show Me Challenge.
Can't
the
wait.
Winner. Yep, the winner gets either $2,500 courtesy of Chris Davis from Midwest Sheet Metal, or winner will get to tag the tail of tonight's main event.
And I know he wanted me to mention that Midwest Sheet Metal, they got shirts still down there, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I grabbed mine earlier. I got a couple of them.
You got a whole bag full, didn't you?
I got a few shirts off Chris Davis down there, man. They are good. They're great.
Kimberly will wear them to volleyball practice.
That is probably true.
Right? There's Jeff Roth. Good to have him back. Jeff Roth, the 14R car. That's a Team Zero Bloomquist car, the Kimball Mechanical owned entry. In Tanner English out there. How about Brett Coleman? All he does, he has the Coleman, for all he does for racing and the community down in Georgia and the special needs schools of Gwinnett, $1 million donation to that school last week, and that was just totally awesome. Thank you, Brett Coleman, for all you do for the racers, and of course sponsoring the Sportsmanship Award this year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
Drake Troutman there on your screen in the 7. Drake was in our Hellraiser Jack's Pit Crew Challenge a little bit earlier on tonight, and let's just say things did not go very well for that team either. It was all in good fun. Everybody had a great time, but that is not Drake Troutman. That's the other 7 of the other Wells. But Drake as Cole Wells, Drake Troutman, he pulled me aside there afterwards, and he said, hey, he said, is there an award for the biggest circus? He said, because I think our team would have won that. And I didn't want to tell him, actually, his team I don't think was the biggest circus. I think there were a few more out there.
We didn't see him in the Diamond Bar because he's not old enough.
That's right. 19. He's still 19.
But Tanner English right there at 16.495. His father, Terry English, the National Dirt Late Hall of Fame, the crew chief on that car. And he's going to start outside row 2 of UNOH B main number 2 as the back straightaway filling in right now. As we'll bring out the next group of cars on the racetrack, Mason Oberkramer in that 93 car, and that is a Longhorn, the premier flatwork Oberkramer trucking entry. Brosley, Missouri, his hometown. And heading down the back straightaway. How about the 6? Let's talk about Clay Harris, the O'Reilly Auto Parts top rookie so far in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
Absolutely. H&R power plant underneath the hood of that rocket chassis, the Wilkerson Farms car. He was, tell you what, had a pretty solid year last year, James. 8 wins. Maybe flew under the radar just a little bit because a lot of those wins came to the South. He won in 3 different classes at Golden Isles last year. Got a Southern Clash win at Waycross, among other things. And after a very, very successful speed weeks, he decided, you know what, I'm going to toss my hat in the ring for that O'Reilly Rookie of the Year chase with Lucas Oil.
Yeah, he's going to run Hunt the Front originally. Brian Green, his crew chief, they talked about it. They said, hey, $20,000 on the line. Let's go do it. They're doing it. Had a rough stretch there, though, after speed weeks, trying to turn around here tonight. Again, he's going to start outside front row of My Race Pass B main number 2. There is 1/4, our 1/4 J-man. That's Jackson Erdl. 15 years old, you said, right?
15, the 15-year-old out of Neosho,
We need
Missouri.
25% more from you, Jackson. He did a good job the other night making the show.
Yeah, not a great night for him last night, but he had a whale of an effort here on Friday night, putting that car going from an unknown and putting it in the show. Scott Crickler was just atop the leaderboard, the driver there on your screen in the 12 out of Alton, Missouri. That now belongs to that man, the 93 of Mason Oberkramer, who's checked in at 16.100. And I don't know, I believe that may be the last session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps here for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, as we are just closing in on opening ceremonies here tonight. So Oberkramer with a 16100. He was the fastest in that last wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Again, 3B mains for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
And got more.
As usual, I stand corrected, James. There's the Shiny Heine Truck Wash, Double Down Asphalt sponsored USA 1. That is going to be another Neosho, Missouri driver, and that is Chris Hawkins. It's your new favorite sponsor.
Well, we should have had one in there in the Diamond Bar. Should have had it. We need it up on the wall there.
We should have had a
That's
what
the new
in the
business.
Diamond Bar?
A shiny Heine T-shirt.
Oh God, that T-shirt. Okay, I wasn't real sure where you were going with that.
That's the way I felt all day long. The 22H, that's Dustin Hodges. He's in the capital car, Centralia, Missouri, his hometown. And Dustin Hodges right now 14th in the Lucas Oil MLRA points. And there's the 7D, that 2017 rocket, Dusty Leonard out of Marysville, Kansas. He's been fast all week long, trying to put into the show tonight. Of course, there's four-time Lucas Oil champion, 40 career wins in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, looking for his first Show Me 100, Earl Pearson Jr.
I've talked to Earl Pearson Jr. off and on throughout the course of the weekend here. And that team, just like a lot of teams we see right now, it's not that they're struggling for consistency. They're good at different portions of the night. James, we seem to hear that from a lot of different teams. Put EPJ's name on that list as well, where he said, we're good at different times of the night. We're just not good from start to finish at the night. There's a good look at the 67, another regular with the Lucas Oil MLRA Series. That's Freebird Jimmy Van Zandt.
You love that, don't you? We need a Van Zandt shirt. So this should wrap it up. Chris Wilhite was scheduled to be in his course. He had his car. He got into the wall here last night.
Oh man, I mean, he absolutely mauled the wall in the Power
I late model. So they had to take him off the track on 2 wreckers, and they had to get a flatbed to get him out here. He still had his trailer here this morning, and so they have left, unfortunately. So hopefully he'll be back next year to Meeker, Oklahoma. Well, Kenny Green signed in here Thursday.
And never
they
showed
had the
up.
car through tech, and hasn't showed up since. So hey, I don't know. How about?
All right, there you go. The crowd's amazing.
Is there a seat available? They might have to start sitting up here.
Power I late model is about to come out. Yes.
Where's Shane at?
Shane Freebie is doing Shane Freebie things. I think the the Macho Man Doug Neff is going to jump in here on the
Macho Man. Doug Neff, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Yeah, Shane Freebie's going to do opening ceremonies tonight, so I'm going to do hot laps and get things going and underway.
You got your driver's list? Are you good to go?
I think so.
You take it away, Doug Neff.
I shall. All right, folks, it is time for your Power Eye Hot Laps. Going to be coming around this time. Looking at the 12. That is Justin Russell. Russell, the 2J. He comes from Harley, Missouri. Right behind him, the 5 car, former track champion right here at Lucas Oil Speedway. It is the 5. That is Tommy Cordray. Cordray, Browning, Missouri is where he calls home. And the 99 of Larry Jones. Jones, El Dorado Springs, Missouri, rolling around here tonight. That is Cordray's car, as you see on the screen. 14, that belongs. The 145 of Kyle Graves. Graves, Fulton, Missouri. As they roll through here, Graves having a little rough luck with the first 2 nights. But he's going to get things back up and underway. The 13 car, Sean Whitman. Whitman from Fairgrove, Missouri. Got back in town. Came to do a little racing. Also the 88 car here tonight. As they roll through, that is Jimmy Dowdell, Boonville, Missouri. 99 of Jones wheeling around there. Jones 4th quick as he comes around with 17. 126 quick time now. It is the 88 of Dow. Jimmy Dow, the 88 car from Boonville, Missouri, with a quick time, 16.688. Justin Russell, the 12J, Henley, Missouri, with a 16.722. Sean Whitman getting back in the groove on that 13 car. Looks like that is going to do it for hot laps. Of course, just for the B, the A is already set. Here, top 16 already set in tonight's A main event. Opening ceremonies coming around your way. We're going to take a break from right here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Protect the Harvest was created to defend and preserve American freedoms and to support farmers, ranchers, outdoor enthusiasts, and animal owners. Protecting agriculture, protecting our rights, our traditions, our rural way of life, protecting America. To get involved, please visit our Facebook page or protecttheharvest.com. Support us by donating today. Protect the Harvest is a nonprofit 501c3 corporation registered in Missouri.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Poske.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
Every race matters for the Big River Steel Chase for the Championship, presented by ARP. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series competitors will battle it out at every race for a chance to win the Series Championship and a record total points fund payout of over $1 million. Four drivers will battle for the Series Championship at the season finale to determine the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for racing in the dirt. With high horsepower demands, ARP delivers maximum clamping force and performance. When failure on the dirt is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
It's time to double down. It's time to raise the stakes. And it is time to go all in with Kubota High Limit Racing. This is the High Limit Room. It's the home of 24 high rollers.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs. What are you running? By Protect the Harvest, keeping American traditions alive for future generations. And by General Tire. For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Awesome. What a great day it's been, brother.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. As they've just about got everyone down there that they need for opening ceremonies. And here in just a few moments, we will direct your attention to the Nutrien Ag Solutions stage that is situated on the front straightaway for our opening ceremony. Sheen Freeby will be down there in just a moment to handle all of those festivities. Real quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the upcoming events here on FloRacing, James, as Kubota High Limit with us all year long. They'll be at Grandview. You ever been to Grandview? Great track.
No, I've seen it. Yeah,
Central Pennsylvania. Yep. Lawrenceburg, Indiana on the
Friday
31st.
Night. Yep.
Yes, and Butler.
Been to Butler, Michigan.
Yep. Absolutely, on June 1st. Castrol FloRacing Night in America.
Please get it in, please. What's the forecast? Good?
Looks
Sunny
good.
and 80, right?
Sunny and 80. Tuesday Tuesday, May 28th. USAC Sprints at Knoxville. That'll be fun, May 31st and June 1st. And then Gordy Gunmaker's big race next weekend. That ought to be a good one. Lucas and the Outlaws both off. It's live here on Flow. A ton of money being paid back through the field into the drivers. That is May 31st and June 1st.
What about the NASCAR Canada Series? Do we need to go up there for that?
Have you
At
been
the Autodrome? What is it?
Autodrome Chaudière. Have you been there
Chaudière.
before?
No, I have not been to Canada.
Surprise. Have you been to Seekonk Speedway?
No, I have not been
I
to
have.
Seekonk.
Seekonk, Massachusetts. Yeah, it's a fun track.
That's awesome.
And NASCAR Whalen Modified Tour.
A lot of big events, and of course, mentioned a lot of rainouts tonight. And hey, thanks for joining us here tonight. We're about ready to go here.
I think we are just about ready to get underway. A great aerial shot there. Look at Lake Lucas back there.
Shane Freeby, this cowboy. I thought it was Chris Davis there for a moment down there, but Creed Fisher, how about that, fans? He did great this afternoon.
Absolutely.
He's down there. Look at the guns on that guy, right? Creed Fisher's on it, isn't he?
If that was Creed Fisher or Ben Shelton down there myself.
Move over Clay Fisher.
I wasn't real sure.
Look at Freeby. Look at Freeby's just cowboying up, isn't he?
See, he is cowboy up.
He's urban cowboy tonight,
He is absolutely cowboy up. Yes, he is.
Yeah, great staff here. We've been coming here for a long time now. Of course, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, our home track here, and an absolutely beautiful Memorial Day weekend night. And you can see all the suites are full. You see above there, right there where we're at, there through the middle there. There you go. All right.
Well, absolutely. A lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff happens here on this weekend. Is opening ceremonies coming up next here at Lucas Oil Speedway. All right, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt
Service. We have a number of dignitaries that we would like to bring up onto the stage now. Just take a few minutes to recognize them. Our presenting sponsor for this year's event is the Missouri Division of Tourism. We want to thank them for their sponsorship and partnership with Lucas Oil Speedway. Please help me in welcoming Kara Kleindienst with the division. Visit www.visitmo.com to learn about all the great places and things to do in the state of Missouri. We hope you enjoyed our pre-race concert with Creed Fisher, as it was brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. Here with us today is Steve Martin. Help us by recognizing Steve and Nutrien Ag Solutions for their sponsorship and support this weekend. Also joining us on stage is our General Manager at Lucas Oil Speedway, Mr. Danny Lorton. Also new this year was our first ever Hellraiser Jack's Pit Crew Challenge. Pit crew members took an opportunity to come out and show their skills, replacing 2 rear tires, and the winner of that and $2,000 goes to the crew of Devin Moran. You were treated to a concert earlier this evening. We'll hear from him again in just a minute, but please welcome your Grand Marshal of the Show Me 100 National Touring Artist. Please give a Missouri welcome to Creed Fisher. We have a very special surprise tonight. Did not know that this was going to be taking place until just a little while ago, but for the last 20 years, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series has been in existence, and has been a mainstay, and one of those drivers that have been there from day one, Earl Pearson Jr. He has been a regular. The series would like to thank him for his loyalty for 20 years. Here with a special presentation, please welcome Series Director Rick Schwally and Earl Pearson Jr. And this actually works out perfect to have Earl up here. In the early 2000s, Wheatland Raceway was transformed in what we know now as a motorsports mecca, the Diamond of Dirt Tracks, Lucas Oil Speedway. It would not have been possible without the vision of Forrest and Charlotte Lucas. From Lake Lucas just to the south and the off-road course to the west, this truly is the gem of the Midwest and the nation. We couldn't host an event like this without their support and their patronage from Lucas Oil Products. I spoke with Earl just yesterday talking about Forrest, and he wanted to make sure that we all knew it's not just the sponsorship that's been on his car for 20 years that he values, it is the personal relationship that he has developed with Forrest Lucas. And for that, please help us with Earl, our staff, and our community in welcoming Forrest Lucas. What has become customary here at Lucas Oil Speedway before every single race we have, and it takes on so much more importance tonight, we ask all current and former members of our military, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and National Guard, or the reserves, please stand as you are able and allow us a moment to recognize you. In honor of all of those members of our armed forces that paid the ultimate sacrifice in the service of our country, we ask that you all rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats as we have a moment of silence in memory of our fallen heroes. Thank you. With tonight's invocation, Lucas Oil Speedway Chaplain from Racers for Christ, Reverend Alan Perkins.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for your loving kindness, and we thank you for the wonderful weather tonight, this wonderful facility, and everyone who has helped provide that. And Lord, we just ask that you be with those families that are remembering their fallen loved ones this weekend, and all of our loved ones. And Lord, we just ask that you bring your blessing upon them. We thank you for the men and women who serve this country, have served and are serving, and we pray your blessings upon them and their families. Lord, we thank you for this great United States of America. We ask you to keep your hand of safety and blessing upon this track, in and around it, and as we leave tonight. And Lord, we thank you once again for this great United States of America. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Please remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors by the Clinton High School Army Junior ROTC Color Guard. Commanding and carrying the nation's colors is Cadet Mackenzie Oakes. Carrying state colors, Cadet Callie-Ann Brandell. Guards for the colors are Cadet Levi Pope and Cadet Caleb Crone. Here to perform our national anthem, your Grand Marshal, Creed Fisher.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave in the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. After 3 days, Show Me 100 comes your way next. B-Mains coming up for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
All right, thanks a lot, Shane Freeby. A crown jewel opening ceremony for a crown jewel event on a weekend where we remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice.
Awesome.
Four programs left. Doug Neff says that is it. There are only 4 programs left if you've not yet got one. And again, don't forget they have got the little voucher in there that is individually numbered. You could win a helmet autographed by every starter of the 30-second Show Me 100 and get your picture taken with them as well.
18 cars already in. Again, it was based on points from Thursday and Friday night combined. So those 18 drivers in the show already. They don't have to worry running a B-Main. They'll have their hot lap session coming up here in a little bit. As Fast Shafts B-Main number 1. We're going to have 3 B-Mains tonight for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Lucas Oil MLRA. The top 2 will transfer, and then we take away provisionals and such, so the best spots give away, and then we'll have the Midwest Sheet Metal Challenge. I always look forward to that because you never know what's going to, who's going to. Most of them have taken it, right? Now, remember, Tony Jackson Jr. went in a couple years ago, and he had an issue with his car and was unable to run. He was going to take the final start.
Years ago, I think, yeah. All right, Fast Shafts B-Main number 1, 15 laps in distance. Top 2 transfer to the Show Me 100. Starting on the pole, the 21 XXX out of Columbus, Mississippi. James, it'll be Neil Baggett. And on his outside, out of Aurora, Missouri, he's won every Power I late model race here this year. 49, Justin Wells.
Ross Robinson nearly won the pit stop competition, right? Amanda's not here. Maybe with her help, he could have.
She's watching at home.
They did a great job, though. They got second here, and that was worth $1,000. He's out of Georgetown, Delaware, a regular in the Lucas Oil Series for the 3rd straight year on the outside. He'll be 5-time Mars champion and 2-time Lucas Oil MLRA champion in the Capital 25 out of Lebanon, Missouri. That is Tony Jackson Jr.
We move back to row number 4, and on the inside, we find the driver out of Paragould, Arkansas. In the 2, that'll be Tyler Stevens, a 3-time winner a year ago. And on his outside, the number 3, out of Lebanon, Missouri, it'll be Brennan Willard.
You missed row 3.
I thought you did row 3.
No, I did not.
You should have done row 3. Aaron Moran out of Richmond. Aaron Moran out of Richmond, Missouri. Dylan's going to replace me here pretty soon. He's waiting. Aaron Moran out of Richmond, Missouri, and you can have the outside.
Peyton Looney, the 2020 Show Me 100 winner out of Republic, Missouri. Row 5, the legend. He's the GOAT in my eyes, right? 852 career wins.
Was roughly
the only 6-time winner of the World 100, 3-time Show Me 100 winner out of Batesville, Arkansas. Billy Moyer in the Infinity by Wells for Todd Cooney Motorsports. And Jason Civils, he's in the 0X. He's out of Bolivar, Missouri. His hometown.
Aurora, Missouri's Ryan Johnson going to start inside row number 6. He's in the 7J, and on his outside, out of Caney, Kansas, in the 10M, it is Jacob McGee.
Corey Larther, the driving 93. Unfortunately, Jared Landers not racing tonight. I'm heartbroken. But Jeremy Petty's here.
He is.
He is in the 77. Smolin, Kansas, his hometown. Crew chief for Arkham Menards driver Ryan Roulette. And again, he flew in from Charlotte this morning. Missed last night. Ben Shelton, my friend, $277,000, a Show Me 100 record. I'm ready to go this weekend. Aren't you for tonight?
Yes. It is time to get things underway. And I tell you what, this racetrack right now looks a lot like what we saw back on Thursday night. It has got a lot of juice to it. The sun has set. It's a little bit of an overcast evening. It's beautiful. Nice breeze out here. And I think these B mains are going to be hammered down. And hey, if you can't get into the main event, if you can't be in the top 2, you want to have a chance to go after that Midwest Sheet Metal Show Me Challenge. One last chance for glory. This is going to be a fun night, guys.
Yeah, and we've talked about the last couple of nights. The progressioner, Danny Lorton, the general manager, Richard Turner running track prep. They took 8 inches of dirt off this racetrack here in the offseason. They added a clay to it, and it has been fantastic, guys, the last couple of nights. Now, last night, little track prep are different because it was scheduled to have thunderstorms at about 5 or 6 o'clock. They never materialized.
Split us.
So they had it run in, and but then they made it right for the feature. It was awesome.
If you wanted to see a mad dash last night, when it became apparent that rain had bypassed us, the amount of track prep equipment that came out of the pit area, and they immediately watered this racetrack. They opened it up. They ran it in, and we only started about 10 minutes late. Now, we did have to rework the track last night, but to Dustin's point, that was kind of a little bit of a trial and error for what they may have to do later tonight. I'm going to tell you, though, as wet as this racetrack looks right now and as cool as it is, the humidity's definitely gone down quite a bit. They may have to do just a little bit before the feature, but I don't know that we're going to need much. There's just not that many laps between now and the 100-lapper.
Yeah, they had to seal it over because there was like a 60-70% chance of storms yesterday evening. Again, just a few drizzle, a few drops of rain, but then they completely farmed it after the third B main last night. But, man, I'm ready to go, and the Brandon Ford pace truck is ready to go in the staging area.
I've been ready. I've been ready for a while. It's 9 o'clock my time.
It's been a long day for us.
It's 9 o'clock my time. Yeah,
that's right. We're on Eastern time.
That's right. Just got word from Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series director Rick Schwally that looks like 12 cars are answering the call, so they're going to run 12 laps in. So 12 cars will go 12 laps in this first Fast Shafts B main. Again, top 2 will transfer to the Show Me 100.
So again, 777 Jared Landers a scratch. McGee got into the wall last night. I believe he is not here, nor I believe the 7J of Ryan Johnson.
And remember, Jason Civils had trouble out there in Dirt Draft Hot Laps earlier as well.
See if he makes the call there in the 0X car, and he does. Of course, Jeremy Petty back there in the 77. There's Brandon Ford. If you want yourself a brand new Ford truck, hey, go ahead and order it. Pick it up here. The last East Bay race, the grand finale in October, $50K to win. EastBayRacewayPark.com for tickets. Stop down there, pick it up, fly down there, pick this truck up. Come on, F-150, F-250, bunch of different colors. Awesome down there dealing with those folks at Brandon Ford there in Brandon, Florida. And we're going to miss East Bay, man, greatly. But hey, we're going to send her out in style there in October, buddy.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. The grand finale, $50,000 to win. Ben, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I can't wait, but then I don't want it to get here because you don't want it to be final. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Brandon Ford, the Brandon Ford TV Challenge. Over $22,000 up for grabs this year. The drivers performing the best in these TV races. This is one of them. Ricky Thornton Jr., surprise, surprise, leads the way in that battle for that $15,000 prize.
Also, of course, it's an Arizona Sports Shirts Crown Jewel Cup. We had our first one a couple of weeks ago. 14 races to pay $30,000 or more to win. We did that at Fairbury a couple of weeks ago. Devin Moran currently leads that. That's a $15,000 prize. All right, B-Main number 1, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Lucas Oil MLRA Late Models. Fast Shafts, B-Main number 1, Dustin, 12 laps. Top 2 transfer to the 32nd Show Me 100 at the Nutrient Ag Solutions start zone. Here we go.
Neil Baggett on the pole, Justin Wells on the outside. Mike Striegel waves the green, and we are underway here for the final night of racing action in the 32nd Annual Show Me 100. Neil Baggett getting the early edge down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. He's got Justin Wells and Tony Jackson Jr. in tow, but remember, only 2 advance to the A main.
Tony Jackson Jr. currently 4th in the Lucas Oil MLRA points, but Neil Baggett, last year's Mississippi State Challenge Series champion, with the lead, the Montgomery Farms Trotto 21 XXX. Justin Wells, who won the Power Eye race here last night, undefeated in a late model here at Lucas Oil Speedway in 2024.
He's trying to race his way in the show right now. Tony Jackson Jr. on the outside looking in. I believe Tony Jackson Jr. would have a Lucas Oil MLRA Series provisional to fall back on if he
would be the first one, because both Simpsons are in and Gordy Gundick are in.
Yes, he's unable to race his way in the show. James clicking the laps off in this one. She's still maybe just a tick slimy out there. This means she's going to be real good a little bit later on, I do believe. It's a 1.1 second advantage for your race leader, Neil Baggett, over Justin Wells. Wells has about 9/10 of a second between himself and the first car that is not in the Show Me 100, and it's Tony Jackson Jr.
The higher they finish, the better for that Midwest Sheet Metal Show Me Challenge. We got a car off the pace. I believe Ross Robinson has taken the number 7 car, the Dutch Star Motorsports entry, to the pit area as Neil Baggett continues to lead, and it's about a 1.3 seconds advantage over Aurora, Missouri driver Justin Wells.
Yeah, Ross Robinson, I think James going to bank on a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series provisional as well, as he is one of just a handful of drivers from that series that has not raced his way in. Cross flags being shown to the field, 6 laps down, 6 laps to go in this one. It's been all Neil Baggett since the drop of the green flag. He's got a 1.2 second advantage over Justin Wells, and Wells' cushion in that final transfer spot has ballooned. He has got nearly 2 full seconds now on your 3rd place car, Tony Jackson Jr.
Second in provisional, and that's unofficial. Clay Harris, who's on the outside front row of a B main, and traveling Corey Lawler to the pit area. So saving the equipment. They will not run the Midwest Sheet Metal Challenge, but Neil Baggett, he wants to Show Me 100. So 18 cars in the show. Baggett will start 19th in the 100-lap race here in about 4 more laps, pending passing through the UNO8 scheme.
Remember, he got a heat race win here on Thursday night. As you see the gap between himself and Justin Wells. Baggett also, he is the reigning Mississippi State Championship Challenge Series champion in that 21 XXX. And there's a look back at your 3rd and 4th place cars. That's on the outside looking in. Tony Jackson Jr. in the 25, and the 2020 Show Me 100 champ, Peyton Looney, in the number 15.
See the groove there. They will widen that out. It's kind of narrow right now as they head for the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go for the veteran driver out of Columbus, Mississippi, Neil Baggett. 1 lap to go to the Show Me 100.
Neil Baggett led this race since the drop of the green flag. Rolled through turns 3 and 4 without an issue, and the driver out of Columbus, Mississippi will take that Dickens-powered rocket chassis off quarter number 4 to the checkered flag, and he'll get the win in Fast Shafts. B-Main number 1, Justin Wells, will finish 2nd and grab that final transfer spot with Tony Jackson Jr., Peyton Looney, and Tyler Stevens on the outside looking in.
So they'll go to the UNO scales to make it official. Justin Wells 2nd, your winner. He's of the Montgomery Farms, Advanced Logistics, Doug's Auto, Shaw's Painting, RTC Recovery, Extreme Graphics. You mentioned Rocket J. Dickens. Out of Columbus, Mississippi, it's Neil Baggett. Well, UNOH's 2nd B main is coming up. Hey, don't forget those scholarships at UNOH. If you're a young man or young woman that wants to get involved in racing, either as a driver on the crew, go to unoh.edu. They're located in Lima, Ohio, as you see Tim McCready and Garrett Alberson there in turn number 2.
Yeah, and Ernie Leftwich down there
as well.
As well. And is that like Ross Robinson maybe walking up there talking to Ernie Leftwich as well? As here comes UNOH B main number 2, James, rolling on to the racetrack.
It'll be Drake Troutman. He's currently 2nd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. The DTR Motorsports entries out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania. On the outside, the driver that's 3rd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase in the 17 SS out of Dade City, Florida. It is Brendan Smith. Your next row is last year's Lucas Oil MLRA Rookie of the Year. It'll be the That is Dylan McCowan. He hails out of Urbana, Missouri. And on the outside, the 2020 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year, the Coleman Farms entry out of Benton, Kentucky, DJ. That is Tanner English.
We move back to row number 3 on the inside. We find the driver out of Millport, Alabama in the 1S. He was quick in Dirt Draft hot laps earlier, James. That'll be Jeremy Shaw, and on his outside, the new shoe of the ASD Motorsports 74X. It's going to be Bakersfield, California's Ethan Dotson.
Steve Stoltz, a Lucas Oil MLRA regular again this year. Peoria, Arizona, his hometown. And the 7W is Cole Wells. His dad just made the race. Can he go in there, right? He's out of Aurora, Missouri in car number 7.
A Comp Cam's Super Dirt Series winner earlier this season down the road at Springfield. Clayton Stuckey starts inside row 5, and on his outside, Lucas Oil MLRA regular out of Festus, Missouri in the 11. It's Jeff Herzog.
Jace Parmley in that steel block. He's hoping for a little bit slicker track. Neosho, Missouri, his hometown. And Jeff Roth in the 14R. He's out of Bentonville, Arkansas.
And your final starters in this one scheduled to be Glenn Powell out of Nixon, Missouri in the 26. Giltner, Nebraska's veteran Al Humphrey in the 6H, and Dalton Imhoff, who I believe broke on Thursday. He was scheduled to start 15th. He has not made his way to the track.
Well, guys, as you look at this lineup, your front row is going to be currently the drivers 2nd and 3rd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year battle with Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and Drake Troutman in the 7 out of Hindman, Pennsylvania, and Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida. Back in row 2, you talked about it last year, made his first ever Show Me 100 and finished 6th. The 8 of Dylan McCowan and the driver to his outside, Tanner English. Kind of hard to believe, guys. He has only ever started one Show Me 100, and he was 9th here back in 2020. Trying to put it in the big show here tonight, the Coleman Farms entry.
Right now, Tony Jackson Jr. just ran the first B main. He is 4th in the points. And in Dylan McCowan, who is 7th in the points, he would be the next in line for a provisional with the Lucas Oil MLRA Series. Then the fastest mutton chops.
Jeff Herzog. That's right. That's exactly right. Worth noting, Justin Duty not here this weekend. He came into the weekend 6th in the Lucas Oil MLRA point standings, and they have had, talk about wet season so far. I think they have had like 10 of 13 races, Ben, that have had to be rescheduled, Ben, or rained out.
Yeah, and you know, Duty raced into this show last year. He was an early retiree, but made his first ever race. He's focusing on that Mars series this year. I believe racing up at Fairbury tonight. But Justin Duty, another one of those up-and-coming drivers, and West Coast transplant, kind of like Ethan Dotson here this weekend. Those West Coast guys really starting to make their way into dirt late model racing.
How about that, Ben? The Lucas Oil MLRA, one of the strongest regional series in the country. 17 of the top 20 in points here this weekend.
Yeah, and you're watching a lot of guys race their way in. Let's be honest, there were years past where maybe the top 2 in points would be your 2 provisionals. Not so much here this weekend. These guys have brought their A game, and man, just so many talented drivers here. Guys, they went and rolled the racetrack into this high side. It is still just very, very fast. It's going to get better as the night goes on, but right now, if you're starting deep in one of these B mains, you got your work cut out for you.
You are not wrong about that. UNOH B main number 2 gets the high sign. Left-hand turn to the infield. This time around, 12 laps will be the distance, James. Top 2 drivers lock in to the 32nd annual Show Me 100. It's the 19-year-old Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania on the pole. And Dade City, Florida's Brendan Smith, 2 O'Reilly rookies on the front row of this one, and they go green in the new Green Ag Solutions starting zone.
Both teenagers trying to make the Show Me 100.
About that.
Here comes down the back straightaway Tanner English. He's a second-generation racer. Dylan McCowan, former track champion here off of turn number 4. Ethan Dotson sticks his nose in there. 1 lap in the books, and it's Drake Troutman, the DTR Motorsports, Brendan Smith in the 17SS for his dad, Sean.
You just saw on your screen side-by-side momentarily for the 4th spot. That's a couple positions out of a transfer. It was Tanner English and Ethan Dotson in business, nearly picking up there for position number 2. Drake Troutman has it. Dylan McCowan, he doesn't want to rely on that Lucas Oil MLRA provisional, James. He wants to try to race his way in the show. 2 laps into this one, and right now he is on the outside looking in position number 3.
How about Brendan Smith, 3rd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. Picked up a new sponsor this weekend, Total Claim Service down there in Florida. And right now he's got a good lead over fellow O'Reilly Rookie of the Year candidate Drake Troutman. Looking forward to seeing all 5 of those drivers. Carson Ferguson is already in the race. Clay Harris is coming up next. He starts in the front row of his B main.
Drake Troutman, the 19-year-old in the number 7, 3rd generation driver, holding on to that second and final transfer spot. He is some 1.3 seconds behind Brendan Smith See, near the halfway point in this one. Troutman right now holding on to that final transfer spot. But Dylan McCowan, you see McCowan there popping into your screen, James. He's closing in and knocking on the back door.
Go a long way back with the Troutman family. His grandfather Dave, who raced with him a few weeks ago, this late dad D.J. Troutman. Man, a lot of your Star Series and all, you know, Cumberland, Maryland, right?
Max,
all that.
the Max Series, the News Series. Our buddy, our good friends, the Geesies.
Right? Were you there for his first late model win at Tyler County, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I announced his
go.
first ever late model win at Tyler County, man. What you talk about tears in victory lane.
Awesome.
I was crying about as much as his mom, Lori, was, as we've got ourselves a Dave Warren Power Sports caution as Jeff Roth is pointed in the wrong direction over in turn number 2.
By the way, be sure to register. Now's the time to do that. DaveWarrenSegway.com. A 2024 Segway UT10 side-by-side we're going to give away at Eldora Speedway, our final race of the year, the Dirt Track World Championship. $100,000 to win. Tickets available at EldoraSpeedway.com. But you could be a winner of that. Go to DaveWarrenSegway.com, and that is a beautiful piece of equipment that we're going to be giving away, my friends.
It's a good-looking side-by-side. Ben, have you registered for that yet?
I think if we won, it would be very unpopular win. So, yeah, I have not, but I hope everybody else does. We talked about having a Segway race coming up, though, like the Paul Blart Mall Cop version Segway at Lernerville. Gordy Gundaker challenged us to be in the next tire-changing competition, the Hellraiser tire-changing competition. We would have delayed the start of Hot Laps. It was up to us 3. I did want to talk about Brendan Smith, your leader. Talked with his crew chief today, Brock Wise, and Brock's been in the sport a long time. And I said, what's been the biggest challenge this year? He said, keeping a young driver from getting very down on himself. And he said, this sport just has a way of doing it. He goes, Shane Clanton and I won the World of Outlaws title in 2015, and then 2016, we couldn't get out of our own way. He goes, it just humbles you. It's tough for veterans, or it's really tough for kids. But, guys, we have watched Brendan Smith. He has improved by leaps and bounds just since the beginning of his season.
It'll beat you down, won't it? I mean, you're running against the best in the nation each and every week in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and all the big Eldora races. But this young man doing a good job and picking up sponsors along the way. So those sponsors out there see the value of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and the exposure they get. So Jeff Roth back to the tail right now. So 6 down in this race, 6 to go. It'll be Smith and Troutman. And Dylan McCowan on the bottom is Troutman in the Delaware double file. And then it's English and Dotson in 74.
You know what we're going to do with the with Flow Night in America? We've got the Death Ridge Opticians choose code. So it'll be the leader will be by himself out front.
Gotcha.
Second place on back gets to choose if they want inside or outside. Everybody. So you could have, we could have like 6 guys choose the inside lane. Someone can come from 8th all the way up to take the outside. It's going to be fun.
Can we do the frozen farmer, like have dairy products frozen on the front stretch? And let's go. Brendan Smith, Drake Troutman. First and second right there at the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone. We are back underway in the second B main of the night, Dustin Jerry.
And Dylan McCowan's able to slide by Drake Troutman and take that second and final transfer spot on the restart, James. Salute the Urbana, Missouri youngster. Up into position number 2. Ethan Dotson slides way high there coming off the corner. That's going to allow Tanner English to run to the inside and take that spot. And we've got trouble coming off turn number 4 as Steve Stoltz in the 78 and Jeff Herzog in the 11 have come together, and the Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag is out again.
And here at the track, it's the Midwest Sheet Metal caution as well, but thanks to Dave Warren Power Sports up there in Northwest Pennsylvania. And again, we want to send out to our good friend Rick Boom Briggs. Of course, not here this weekend. He was voted on hardship points by the other drivers. His brother Steve Briggs having some health issues, and hopefully Steve will be back to full strength here coming up. And we're thinking about you and praying for you, brother.
100%. Take a look at the instant replay here, James, to see exactly what happened to bring out this latest Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag as the drone flies high over top of turns 3 and 4. And right there on the bottom of your screen is the 11 that slides up the track. The 78 tags him in the quarter panel, and that puts us under yellow.
Jeff Herzog out of Festus, Missouri, comes into tonight 8th in the Lucas Oil MLRA
look at
championship point standings.
Our speed cam's got hey, Ben Sheldon, our speed cam on the front straightaway's got a little piece of mud on it. Can you run out there and clean that off real quick?
No, I'm very happy for it. It's just going to have character, not going to do it. I've seen some pictures on social media coming out of the pit area. Tyler Stevens, some of these guys, there's no worries about not making weight right now. They are taking a ton of this racing surface back to the pit area. Again, really, really fast racetrack to start the night. I don't think they're going to have to do much with it later, but if you're deep in one of these B mains, you better put on an extra stack of tear-offs and hope that you don't have happen to you what just happened with Stoltz and Herzog down here in turn 4.
Did we not have that a couple of years ago where we had to change helmets? We had to throw the caution and change helmets.
We had that one year. We almost had to change cars there with about 10 to go.
We had to do that in Knoxville as well one year.
Yes.
At the front of that car on Jeff Herzog's car.
You see all the mud caked up on the nose, the filler panel, and the spoiler of the 11 down there. And
So 7 down, 5 to go. We'll bunch them up here again as Stoltz will rejoin on the back. It's not as bad when you're out front. You look at Brendan Smith's car; it's pretty clean.
That's right. That's exactly right. You look back right there about the 96 of Tanner English. You see a lot of mud caked up over the Coltman Farms Racing logo on the filler panel of that entry.
Joined that team a couple of weeks ago. Ethan Dotson was driving. Now you see Dotson, they're lined up side by side, ironically, right? Dotson drove for Brett Coleman until about a month or two ago, and now Tanner English, the full-time driver in that team's car.
All right, well, Dylan McCowan got by Drake Troutman on that last restart. We'll see if Troutman's able to sneak back by and grab that final transfer. Again, 7 laps in the books, as James said, 5 to go. And Brendan Smith remains out front, and right like they were before, James, Dylan McCowan moves up back into the second spot, and James Troutman slipped up.
They got in trouble there in turn number 2. English got around him as they come out of turn number 4. 8 down, 4 to go for the driver. Out of Dade City, Florida, Dylan McCowan. Tanner English down the back straightaway. Troutman is back to 4th now. And then it's Dotson, Shaw, and Stuckey as they come up. Bound for the lead off of turn number 4 with 3 to go, Dustin.
Yeah, Dylan McCowan's got a pretty good hot rod here as he has taken that second spot away, as you mentioned, and something is amiss on the 7 of Drake Troutman. He is going to slow and pull into the infield and call it a race, and you've got a race for the lead as Dylan McCowan has worked by him. Brendan Smith has trouble in the 17 double S.
And Brendan Smith, one of the Rookie of the Year candidates, and he slows going into 1. I don't know if he's going to make it off the track. There's 2 to go. We're going to come up on the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go. The white flag is out. And Brendan Smith in trouble here in this second B main, Dustin Jarrett.
Indeed is, and he is going to make that hard left-hand turn into the infield, so we stay green on this Barron's Performance. 1 to go. As they come around to the checkered flag, the winner of UNOH B main number 2 is going to be Dylan McCowan, and second, racing his way into the show, is going to be Tanner English. Jeremy Shaw, Ethan Dotson, and Clayton Stuckey all on the outside looking in.
So they'll go to the UNOH scales. I don't think they're going to have any problem meeting weight. There's your winner. Last year's Lucas Oil MLRA Rookie of the Year. He's into Sonic. Pomeroy Services, Bell Hamilton Ford. Empire Energy, BLC Transportation, Heritage Tractor, Elite Construction, Longhorn, Scott Bailey. Out of Urbana, Missouri, ladies and gentlemen, how about it? For your winner, Dylan McCowan.
And yeah, guys, as McCowan really, well, 2 things for McCowan. One, that backup car should probably become the primary car because that's the fastest he's been all weekend. But Brendan Smith, some popping starting to come out of that car about a lap and a half before he pulled off. So not sure something in the timing or it's something else going awry. But man, what a tough break for that driver as it knocks him out. And he's going to have to see if he can get a provisional to start tonight. And they're going to check for some debris. Actually, scratch that. They're going to put the old Eldora stripe on the wall up in turn number 3 and 4 because she's coated pretty good right now.
Well, with them putting that stripe on the wall and rolling the track back in, we're going to step aside and thank the folks that make this broadcast a possibility. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next, My Race Pass B-Main number 3. It's the final night of racing action here at the Show Me 100, and you're watching it all live. This is MAV TV on FloRacing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Saturday portion of the 32nd annual Show Me 100. We are here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks, Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. Dustin Jarrett and James Essex here in the booth. Ben Shelton joining you trackside from the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And James, we have got 2 last chance races in the books. My Race Pass, B-Main number 3, has made its way to the track. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup.
It'll be 4-time Lucas Oil Label Dirt Series National Champion and 40 times the winner in the series. Out of Jacksonville, Florida, the Jason Round BMF chassis. It'll be Earl Pearson Jr. outside. He currently leads the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase in the Lucas Oil Label Dirt Series. And car number 6 out of Jupiter, Florida, that is Clay Harris.
Row 2 on the inside out of Alton, Missouri in the 12. That is Scott Crickler, and on his outside in the 36, 2-time Comp Cam's Stupid Dirt Series champ out of West Plains, Missouri, it's Logan Martin.
Dusty Leonard drives the 7D car to Marysville, Kansas. On the outside, it was Jackson Ertl, Night in America Thursday night. Made the show, the 15-year-old out of Neosho, Missouri, in the 1/4 J car, Jackson Ertl.
It's all Neosho all the time. As another Neosho native, Kylan Garner, going to start inside row 4. He's in the USA 128. And on his outside, Dustin Hodges out of Centralia, Missouri in the 22.
The shiny hottie truck wash, it's Chris Hawkins, Neosho, Missouri. Mason Oberkramer, the 93 out of Brosley, Missouri.
Matt Mency in the 26 in. Inside row 6, Jimmy Van Zant, the 67 on the outside. James, your final starter is going to be the 65 of John Benning. The rest of the field has scratched. 12 cars going to race 12 cars, 12 laps. James, top 2 will transfer. It's My Race Pass. B-Main number 3, and they go green, and the Nutrien Ag Solutions starting zone.
Earl Pearson Jr., the Lucas Oil, Jason Round owned car, and at turn number 1, Lucas Oil product sponsored car. Clay Harris is going to slide up the track. Clay Harris right now, he is the top driver in the Lucas Oil Series. Not yet in the race as they come out of turn number 4. Down the main straightaway, Earl Pearson Jr., the race leader. Again, he's looking for his first Show Me 100 victory of his career. Crickler out of shape at 2, and here comes Leonard as Logan Martin gets around him.
Yeah, he sure does. Dusty Leonard able to get by as well as you said, and Crickler may not be done dropping yet as he's stuck up there in the fluff as Dustin Hodges also able to work by. Earl Pearson Jr. out front, Clay Harris in second. Again, with only 2 drivers transferring, that's the battle for 4th on your screen. Dusty Leonard has it. Dustin Hodges trying to take it away, but we're going to see a Dave Warren Power Sports caution as we've got a pair of cars together over in turn number 2.
Your chance now, go to DaveWarrenSegway.com, register for that 2024 Segway UT10 side by side. And again, we'll give that away to Eldora Speedway, the Dirt Track World Championship in October. John, I don't know if his brother's named Joe, but John doing a good job there in that all week long, trying to get in the Show Me 100 for the very first time. There's Jimmy Van Zant, currently second in the Lucas Oil MLRA points, the veteran driver.
The rookie points.
Well, the rookie driver.
Yes.
What did I say?
You said he was second in the series points, and
he's a long-time regular. But
I think that
in as far as the
Chris Simpson was going to punch you for saying that somebody else was second in the series point standings. And I don't think you want that.
Amanda's not here.
Yeah, he's second in the second in the rookie year point standings is Jimmy Van Zant, and that Mossio Properties carries bar Pappy's Place.
But he's been running what, the Cash Money Series? He's been running series like that, and this year he's gone into the open motors. So we'll try the restart outside of row number 1 there, beside Clay Harris, is behind your leader Earl Pearson Jr. That is Logan Martin, 2-time Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champion. Earl Pearson Jr., surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, former World 100, Dirt Track World Championship winner. Arguably the best World 100 ever, 2006.
That's right. Indeed, won that Dirt Million at Mansfield there back in 2018 as well. Caution lights turned off. Green going to wave this time. 2 laps in the books. 10 laps remaining. Delaware double file restart. Earl Pearson Jr. out front. Second place, Clay Harris chooses second. They go green, and the Nutrien Ag Solutions restart.
3 wide for third into 1. Is that going to work? Dustin Hodges, he'll make it work out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Earl Pearson Jr., race leader. in the Clements-powered BMF for Jason Round out of Firely, Iowa, the team owner into turn 1. Clay Harris runs in second. 3 in the books, Dustin, 9 to go.
Yeah, Dustin Hodges is giving chase to the 36 Logan Martin right now. He was looking high, looking low as we look back on that battle. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your screen. Jackson Erdl has entered the chat in the 1/4 J, and Hodges washes up the racetrack off corner number 4.
Rushes the wall. How about Jackson Erdl, the 15-year-old, made the show here on Thursday night. And right now, he's looking for a good starting spot in that Midwest Sheet Metal Show Me Challenge. Coming up here in a little bit, maybe a couple of cautions. He may have a shot to make it out of this one. It's Pearson and Harris, solid 1st and 2nd. Logan Martin trying to track them down. He's 1.2 seconds behind your leader, Earl Pearson Jr.
Indeed he is, and he's about 7/10 of a second behind the final transfer car, and that's Clay Harrison. He's closed that gap. You just saw Harris slip a little bit down there in corner number 4, James, halfway home, 6 laps down. 6 laps to go in this one, and you're looking at the battle for the final transfer spot on your screen. Clay Harris has it. Logan Martin wants it.
Such a good start to the Speed Weeks, and he's running the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series for the very first time in his career for Rookie of the Year. Remember how it ended, though. And in the stretch the last couple of months, it's been a struggle. First trip here against 63 other cars, and right now trying to make his first Show Me 100 in his first appearance here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He's 4 laps away. Joining him, Logan Martin trying to spoil the party for the Brian Green Crew Chief number 6 car.
Yeah, Logan Martin's pedaling hard, and here he comes. Harris slipped up just a little bit, that time down in turns 3 and 4, 3 laps to go. This happens 1 full second behind your race leader, Earl Pearson Jr. Again, Clay Harris in the 6, Logan Martin in the 36. You're looking at the battle for the transfer in the final main of the night, and Harris got high again off the corner.
Slipped up just enough. Martin is right to their side beside it, turn number 2. They'll head to the Barron's Performance, 1 lap to go for a spot into the Show Me 100. 2,000 to start. Martin on the bottom. Pearson has got it well ahead into turn number 1. The Barron's Performance, 1 lap to go. Can Clay Harris hold off Logan Martin?
He's going to try to, but he may have a lap car to deal with as well, as that battle's on the right side of your screen. Through turns 3 and 4, Pearson's going to get the win. The battle for the transfer comes right down to the checkered flag. Give it to Clay Harris. He's transferred into his first ever Show Me 100 with Logan Martin finishing 3rd, Jackson Erdl 4th, and Dusty Leonard 5th. We'll look for those guys in the Midwest Sheet Metal Show Me Challenge coming up here in just a little bit. So Harris finishes in the 2nd spot, and the winner of My Race Pass B-Main, number 2 in the Jason Rowland Motorsports, Tigler Wrecking and Crane, Lucas Oil, Edgeberger Trucking, C&D Bonding, Sunoco Race Fuels, Clements-powered BMF race car. How about it for the 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champ out of Jacksonville, Florida, the Hurricane Earl Pearson Jr.
Tip of there's our fireworks. Where are they?
It looks like
are
they're
they
on the beach somewhere.
On the beach?
They need the
outside of turn 2.
Looks like they need a
get a watch.
They need the drink that Ben had.
They're on Lake
Diamond
Lucas.
Bar last night. Yes, there they are.
That drink was called the Lake Lucas, and I'm not sorry. It was delicious.
I assume that's their vehicles right there. So they're far enough away that we.
Hey,
Well, cool.
you know what, guys? You just saw Earl Pearson Jr. win My Race Pass B-Main 3. DJ, you and I got to talk with Earl a little bit last night, and I know Earl's slowing down a little bit, and then the amount of travel he does and everything. But man, what an ambassador for the sport! What just a veteran, and it's just cool to get to see Earl and the things he's accomplished in the sport. He's just a good dude, man. If you ever get a chance, go talk to Earl Pearson Jr.
He is as down to earth as anybody.
Yes.
I mean, he really truly is.
You remember when the announcement was made after Speed Weeks that he was going to run the Lucas Oil MLRA? Well, it was not at that point, but he dropped. He had never missed a race in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. It's 2005, the inaugural season with this series when it went under Lucas Oil Late Model Dirts. And I know Rick Schwally was relaying to, I mean, he was just as upset as all of us were. I mean, it's heartbreaking for me because he was at every race. I've only missed 4, but he had been at all of them.
Yeah.
And we miss seeing him, but we hope he's doing well, and he's doing very well so far here tonight. He will start 21st in the Show Me 100.
So coming up next will be Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the 18 drivers that locked in through points. Again, drivers accumulated points, James, based on how they ran in Thursday's Cowboy Classic, and then in last night's tribute to Don and Billy Gibson as well. The drivers that accumulated the most points collectively in the 2 nights, they locked into the show, and I think they're going to be rolling out on the track here just about any second right now as we're ready for them. As look at Landon there on the lift, bringing you
Give us a
all the
wave,
action.
Landon.
Give us a wave,
Come on,
Landon, over there. Ah, there he
you go.
is. Yep.
He's got all of his harnesses on, got everything. He's
doing a great job from the lift
locked
over
in over
high
there.
above turn 1.